Friday, everybody. Good to see you. Good to be seen wherever you are, however you may be listening. Thanks for making us part of your day. It's the final day of congressional hearings for the week, and the news for sure will just stop at the on Saturday and Sunday, and we'll all be able to have just nice, normal weekends, like our country's not being run by an idiot. That's going to happen. I forgot to check on Mike. That's my bad. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? No facts live this morning. Where are people even coming from today? Actually, it reminds me to message him. We can do this real quick. Fax is going to come up today and announce that he's got an event tonight, so he'll let you know about that. I'll have him message Jen. But yeah, so what'd you do this morning? What do you guys even do when you're not with Fax in the morning? Been roaming the streets. TikToks are greeting. What's up, Salt Lake City? Hey, Jeff. Good to see you. Win?
Yeah. Are you? I think you're doing. Are you doing this on purpose? Are you changing the donation size thing just to mess with me?
No, you were the one that messed with it this morning. I didn't do anything.
I tried to fix it, and I did adjust it. I feel like you adjusted it again. Nope. I think you're doing this on purpose.
You're giving me way too much credit, I think.
I think you're doing this to fuck with me, and I don't appreciate it.
Well, which one? On the vertical?
Yeah, on the vertical one.
Oh, where was it before? Where does it
need
to go?
Like shrink it down. I mean, currently the vertical looks a little bit different, but like where I can see it now, it's like you can see donations, but it gets lost, so you can't see the TikTok goal. Often.
I can put it down there. Is it better if it's down?
If you want to shrink it, shrink it down. Like make it smaller, where like the end of the donations ends over the Cash App symbol. Shrink it.
That would cover the logo.
It won't. If you keep it on the left-hand side.
Well, the Cash App's on the right-hand side.
On my side, it's on the left.
Now I think you're fucking with me.
No, I'm not.
Guys, the Cash App's on the right side, isn't it?
It's on the left.
I guess it's in the middle. Never mind. Sorry, I was looking. It's in the middle. Oh, so you want it? What the hell? You want it that small?
Just a little. Yeah, just drag it over. Yeah, to the left.
The first time anybody has asked me to make it smaller, that's
not
a normal request for me.
That's because they don't usually have to ask to make it smaller.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, usually nobody's
like, now
I wish that was smaller.
Okay, now move it where the D is over the V.
It doesn't. See,
it does.
It gets smaller. It's so hard to do this. You guys don't even know. All right.
No, and then just drag it to where the donation lines up with the blue V.
With the blue V all the way. That's Venmo. That's why we were confused here. You said Cash. Oh, you want it to end on Cash App?
Yes.
Oh.
Where the zero is above
there you go. How's that?
The cash line. Yes, like that. Leave it.
Okay. Anything else?
Because I already did that this morning. All right. Okay. Now we can get going.
All right. Thanks, Jen. Just cold. It was just cold in here this morning. I think that's what happened. I think it was just cold. Good morning, everybody. Sorry about that. That somebody correctly said it's the ADD versus OCD. That happens every day. Jen sent me a message this morning that was like, that I read and I did it. And she's like, I need you to acknowledge that you read this. Okay. So this is just every morning. The files are they juicy? Am I missing some of the files? I might be missing some Epstein stuff. Jen sent me something. I'll get to that in a minute. Don't get mad, but you have some explaining to do about Ohio. What happened in Ohio? We got something in Ohio, Patrick? Yeah, I don't know how to turn on read receipts. I'm so terrified of read receipts. I ignore so many text messages. What do I have right now if I looked at my text? Many unread texts. Not that bad. 467. That's not bad. But the emails is a little tough. About 30,000 emails unread. But what happened in Ohio? Does anybody know? Reddit's going nuts. I'm afraid to go to Reddit too. Does anybody know? I'm in Ohio. Well, he's probably talking about you, Jack. Nobody knows what's going on in Ohio. 1,765 unread text. Good for you, Empress. You deserve it. Medicaid fraud in Ohio. All right, let's see. Medicaid fraud, Ohio. I'm gonna 9 Medicaid. Oh, this is from November. A whistleblower. What do we got here? Whistleblower says this is just the tip. All right, let's see. Fox is going to make me watch a commercial. Watch this. Fuck Fox News. I hate I'm just going to read it. On the heels of Minnesota's still unfolding massive social services fraud, a whistleblower is exposing a similar scheme occurring among the Ohio Somali community, which he says dates back over a decade and total millions in stolen taxpayer dollars. All right. Real quick, before I go over this, I want to make sure, Patrick, that you also think Rick Scott should go to jail, right? And that Rick Scott doing the same thing was a problem. It does seem interesting to me that the only time Republicans report on this is when it's immigrants. Just want to make sure if we're going to do this, and I'm fine with it. I think anybody who commits fraud should go to jail. Okay, but what about senators, Patrick? What about Rick Scott? Interview with Fox News. Who's Bohacek Cook, an Ohio attorney and conservative commentator, said that Minnesota was just the tip of the spear. How's she the whistleblower? She's an attorney and a Fox News contributor? I don't know if that's a whistleblower. Scammers in the community have been exploiting a loophole in Ohio's Medicaid program that allows individuals to receive Medicaid payments totaling as much as $91,000 per year per individual for care they are supposedly providing to a family member. Doctors who approve these payments in turn receive kickbacks themselves. Just rubber stamping a lot of those, and then that same individual a week later that's supposed to be bedridden is all over social media. Yeah, maybe it's time for Congress to do some oversight instead of maybe if we didn't spend every oversight committee hearing trying to convince the United States that Hunter Biden's a problem. We entrusted states to look at funding and allocate it and build programs to build rules and regulations, but unfortunately, states like Ohio, it's being infiltrated and broken down because you don't actually have an independent assessments with not only doctors, but somebody of Medicaid coming in. Damn, those Republicans in Ohio aren't doing a very good job. Here we go. Cook said, though, I know everybody wants to make this a Somali issue, a race issue. It's not. Our waiver system in Ohio is built with compassion, built to really help individuals that are struggling in need, but it's being looted. What if we did something like made sure that people that worked full-time got a living wage? Do you think that would fix some of these problems? You agree with me on Rick Scott going to jail? Okay. So do you understand why it's kind of hard for us to take Republicans seriously when a senator, they won't even speak out about that senator, and after he did this, he got elected? Do you understand why? Can you at least empathize with us that we feel like you're only making this a story, or your side's only making this a story because it's Somalis? Because like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security fraud, that happens. We should definitely do it all the time. We should definitely not do it. Sorry, we should do oversight all the time. We should take care of these problems when they happen. But it does seem like Republicans don't care, unless it's somebody like they can target Somalis here. That's a good point. Trump pardons Santos, who was serving time for fraud. I think that's all we're saying. I don't think that there's anybody that thinks that fraud should continue. It just feels like Republicans only care about it when it's not their people. Never forget Trey Lance. Leave Trey Lance out of this. What are you doing? Why are you going after Trey Lance? We don't need to talk about that. This is hurting my feelings. I'm going to block you just for bringing up bad memories. Yeah, I remember when we traded everything for Trey Lance, and then our quarterback we took in the same draft in the 7th round. I remember. I was so pumped on Trey Lance. I thought for sure that was going to be the solution to all of our problems. Never forget Solomon Thomas. What are you guys doing today? Why is everybody picking on me today? What did I do? I just showed up today to present some news, and everybody's picking on me. People should have to reapply for Medicaid annually. I don't think that fixes, I don't know if that fixes the problem or not. Why don't we just pay people a living wage? Why even worry about this? Why don't if we want less people on government subsidies, we should make sure that they have jobs that pay more. Right? That's a good point, too. Medicare for all solves all of these problems, and we'll get there. Thank you, Hijack. There would be no fraud. Like, everybody just be on it. You wouldn't have to, lie to get on it. Yeah. Enjoy your free win this weekend. Signed a Titan fan. Thank you. We had a nice... Shut up, Swiss Michael. I'm a fucking... Jen, are you here? Oh, now.
Am I ever here?
Everybody's bullying me about the 49ers. Can you do something about this?
You want me to put 49ers as a blocked word today?
No, they'll figure out a way around it. I just want you to say mean things to them.
I'm busy right now.
Jesus. All right. No backup.
But,
okay, fine. I'll deal it.
You messed with my sizing of the donation thing, so I don't know. You're kind of not in a good place with me either.
Jesus. I'm up here.
I mean, maybe you should think about your own behavior.
I feel like Captain Moroni. Where's my Mormon? If my Mormon friends are here, you know what I'm talking about. Or no, not Moroni. Abinadi. I'm just up on the. I'm up on the
personal
wall.
Responsibility here, Jay. So
I'm going to show you about Abinadi. He's from the Book of Mormon. One of my favorite things about the Book of Mormon, is it Abinadi? Might be. One of my favorite things about the Book of Mormon, it used to have like artwork in it, like at the end, and they made all of the people in the Book of Mormon like just absolutely jacked. See this? Got jacked this old man is. Samuel the Lamanite. Thank you, Dia Maria. Thank you. Samuel the Lamanite. It's been a while since I've read the... Lamanites are the people that were cursed, by the way. Where's the good one? Where that dude's just jacked as shit. Up here. Where is it? Yeah, this is you guys here. This is me up on the wall. Just trying to do the right thing. Me, Samuel the Lamanite. And this is you guys up. You're just shooting down.
We get people.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you can't see it. Sorry. Every day. I'm going to get used to this one day. There we go. This is me up on the wall here. This is you guys shooting at me. This is one of you. This right here is Patrick running up the stairs. Oh, I know you're getting shot with arrows, but I got to tell you about Ohio. Go back to show you Abinadi, though. This was Abinadi, 700 years old and just yoked on TRT. Everybody in the Book of Mormon looked like the liver king. This used to be like in our scriptures. This is what we see. The king was always like some like fat slob. And then everybody that was righteous was just like jacked as hell. So that's me. You guys, you're the bad ones in the, what else? Let's see some other Mormon art here. That's Adam and Eve. There you go. This is how we're starting today. Oh, this is good. This is baptisms. This is people getting baptized. See how jacked all the men are? We're all so jacked. Pretty good gig being a Mormon in the Book of Mormon. You look jacked as hell. I got meds, but only like partial meds. I'm not gonna be honest. I'm in a good mood today. I don't know why. I think I just gave up on being angry for a little bit, but I'm sure we'll find it. I'm sure the chat will help me find it. Patrick, I'm sure you'll piss me off at some point today. Who's getting jacked? Amanda, get it together. Get it together. I appreciate you leaving the G off your getting there. Who's getting jacked? The G on the end there. I'm medicated today too. It's wild. Good. Yeah, I'm partially medicated. Half my prescription came through the weaker part of it. But let's talk a little bit today. Yesterday, Indiana told Donald Trump to get fucked. The Heritage Foundation came out and tried to get Indiana to vote to redistrict, and Indiana said no. And here is Indiana State Senator Michael Bohacek on why he voted against redistricting.
We're worried basically of the ramifications of pushing something like this through.
It's bad policy, in my opinion, and the opinion of others. It makes the legislative process just too transactional. At least in my opinion, this is not a 2-year presidency. This isn't a 2-year Senate legacy. This is going to go on well after I'm gone and beyond. So
no 40 whiners, none of that, Amy Lynn.
Let's treat it like that.
Did you ever think that the pressure campaign might work?
I was a little concerned. Obviously the threats of removing resources from your state are always a concern, but we have to also look that many of the funding sources that come from the feds are statutory. Medicaid, SNAP, those are entitlement programs. Those are going to continue to flow. Road funding will continue to flow. Maybe some discretionary grant funding.
Shut up. Don't call me out on CNN. It's the only clip I had.
Might become in jeopardy, but then we're going to have to lean on our congressional delegation to make sure that they're doing their jobs to do the best for our citizens of the state of
Republicans that are here, how do you feel about Trump saying, I'm going to withhold funding if you don't try and rig your districts? How do we feel about that? Yeah, I know. Don't try and convince them that if it's CNN, it must be lies. We do this every day. It's a really weird way to live your life. Just if you see a logo, you're like, automatic lie. It's just anybody who says CNN and then laughs, you're just raising your hand and being like, I'm dumb. I can't parse through this myself, so I have to rely on logos to tell me what's true and what's not. I might block you today, Stick. We'll see. I'm in a good mood today. We'll see if I block you today. If you stay on topic, you're allowed to say things that aren't true. And I'll correct them. You just have to stay on topic, Stick. But while you're here, Stick, are you good with this? Larry, you're good with it too? You like that? You like Daddy Trump threatening people to not cheat? Okay. To cheat. If you don't cheat, I'm taking your money. Yeah, we love that. We love democracy. Because most of the time, CNN lies. CNN can't lie. You can't talk. It's a company. You gonna answer this question, Stick? We might start early. You might get out of here early. I'm trying to be nice. I just want to know, Stick, if it bothers you that Trump threatens people if they don't do what he says, and he says, "I'm going to withhold federal funding if you don't rig your primaries, and then rig your district maps." That's all I want to know. You got this, bud. Yeah, the good mood went away pretty fast. I love Trump. He's just getting started. All right. Yeah. You're probably, for sure, you're getting muted today. You showed up as a coward again today.
Indiana.
Yeah. And I should be clear. When I say pressure campaign, I'm not just talking about, the president's threat to primary people who voted no, which he did threaten. And I believe you're not up until 2028, right?
That's correct.
But it goes beyond just the politics. I mean, there were bomb threats at your home. Do you believe that was because of this?
Yeah, unfortunately, it was. It was right after Thanksgiving. I had released a post about my displeasure over some a slur that the president used. So we received a bomb threat that night at about 1:00 in the morning. Of course, I had to wake up my family. We had to.
Is this the same? You guys that say if we call somebody a fascist, we're responsible for everything, but when Trump does this, not responsible? I'm assuming, Republicans. It's only inciting violence if it happens to somebody on the right. I'm assuming. Right? Yeah, right on right here. Jamie says, "Happy Friday." Thanks, Jamie.
Have bomb dogs search property around my house. Since then, my family's been staying with friends. I'm down at the State House now until the end of the week, and they're still not staying at home. So it's very disruptive. I do have small children as well, so it's been a tough couple of weeks.
The left should give this country up, or else we will get it back by force. Sam, you're nobody. Stop saying we. You're a guy on TikTok nobody's ever heard of. Don't say we. You're not part of this. You're a cheerleader. You're a fan. You're on the sidelines. You're just cheering on the Republicans trying to do fascism, while you also get offended when we call you fascist. Every time, like every one of you's a fascist. You know that, right? That's what we're doing now. You know you guys are doing fascism? Joel said, thank you, Joel. Angie said, over 95,000 photos released from the Epstein estate. I've only seen some, and I'll get to them in a minute. If there's more, Jen, that you find, send them to me. Amy Lynn said, go Hawks, become a 12th man. Pass. Goddamn, do I hate the Seahawks.
We're worried.
Whoops. All right, let's talk more about that. Just another reminder that these same people lied to us and said Project 2025 is not real, and yet Trump has to take his threats and he has to run them through Heritage. So Heritage, their political action committee, throws out this tweet: President Trump's made it clear to Indiana leaders, if the Indiana Senate fails to pass the map, all federal funding will be stripped from the state, roads will not be paved, guard bases will close, major projects will stop. These are the stakes, and every no vote will be to blame. Yeah, that's cool, dude. That's cool. Got to keep the Republicans in office. And the other thing is, why do you want these Republicans to stay in office? All right, Stick's muted for 5 minutes for using the same thing he says every fucking day. Sorry, Stick. You made it a little bit. 5 minutes for Stick. Got to stay on subject, Stick. And for any Republicans that are here, just so you know, we have a new rule here where you have to stay on subject. You're allowed to say whatever the fuck you want about me, but it has to be on topic. You're allowed to argue as much as you want and use your voice as much as you want, but it has to be based on what we're talking about, or else you get muted. And you can stick around and watch, and your mute will time out, and then you can come back. But then we just got to kind of keep muting you. So you've been warned. Now here is the lieutenant governor of Indiana, who then went and deleted this post because they are all afraid of Donald Trump. Yesterday, saying the Trump administration was very clear about this. They told many lawmakers, cabinet members, and the governor and I that this would happen. The Indiana Senate made it clear to the Trump administration today that they do not want to be partners with the White House. The White House made it clear to them that they'd oblige. At some point, he took this down. I'm not sure. Not sure why. Probably death threats. That would be my guess. Yeah, dude. I don't know why people just won't comply with fascism. Can you buy your way out of the mute? Yes. If you get muted, you can buy your way out of a mute for $100. That's how much a 2-minute mute, $50, a 5-minute mute, $100, and a 24-hour mute, $200. We're gonna make it very expensive for you. You need to feel some pain. We can't do just small amounts of money.
Hold on. We can't unmute people on YouTube. That's not a thing.
We should have said this after.
I know, but I don't. Yeah, you'll break something, and I'll have to fix it, and I don't want to have to try to fix something that I can't. We could
have got some Republican money out of this, and then been like,
I know, but that's lying. We're better than that. We don't lie. I mean,
right, fine.
We can make fun of them, but
fine.
We're the good ones here. Remember?
How about this? Before I mute you, if you send the money before the mute happens,
yeah, there you go, and you can get out of it. That I can agree with that.
Okay, cool.
So,
all right, thanks, Jed. Twisted Metal said, "Why stick here every day with the same 3 brain cells?" I don't know, and nowhere else to go. I do think that most of the people that come in intro, I think they're just kind of lonely, and so you guys can stick around, and it gives me some enjoyment sometimes. Jamie Lynn said RTP causing a mutiny. Thanks, Jill. Thanks for the super chat as well. I think that was it on Indiana. Let's go to the Epstein stuff. And Jen, if you have anything else you want to add here, feel free to drop it in the chat. First, I want to show you this. Senate Democrats now worried after this drop of photos, and after at least warnings and some unconfirmed whistleblower reports that they are going to try and hide what's in the Epstein files. Senate Democrats have written to the Inspector General I don't know how you even say that. Bertholomew. We write to request your office's assistance in ensuring public trust and transparency in the Department of Justice's forthcoming release of records related to Epstein. On November 19th, 2025, on my birthday, Trump signed into law the Epstein Files Transparency Act. And after overwhelming bipartisan support in Congress, this act will require the Department of Justice at long last to release all documents and records in possession of the Department of Justice relating to Jeffrey Epstein by December 19th. What is it, the 12th today? 7 more days? In furtherance of transparency, last week, a federal judge in Florida granted the DOJ's request to unseal grand jury transcripts from the investigation into Epstein and Maxwell. I don't think that one's that important. We'll see. I think that maybe just so that there's a record of what was given to the grand jury to make sure that everything we should see, we're going to see. Subsequently, a federal judge in New York granted the request to release grand jury transcripts in voluminous discovery. I didn't look at these requests, but remember when the GOP was still trying to cover this up, and they said that these judges wouldn't release these, and the judges were like, "You're not giving us a request that we can even rule on. You have to cite a law." You have to give us a legitimate reason, and there's only a handful of reasons why you could release this grand jury testimony, but they weren't citing it. And so now, after Trump signs that, suddenly they figured out a way to request the grand jury testimony to be unsealed, almost like they could have done that the whole time. Are we just going to keep pretending, Republicans, that they didn't try and cover this up? We could have had all this stuff earlier this year. We started talking about it in June. Trump could have released it at any time, but he didn't. They pretended that they needed, that the judges were blocking them. They waited for a discharge petition forcing their hands. Why was it? It was because of the new Epstein law, why the grand jury unsealed it? What's the new Epstein law? Are you talking about the discharge petition? Well, I mean, we started talking about it in Congress, Drew. We started talking about getting it released in Congress in the middle of the year. Because I don't think the discharge petition is necessarily a new law. What was the reasoning they gave, the grand jury gave for releasing it? I don't think you can just suddenly change those rules. Anyway, I'll keep going. Congress is determined to ensure that the DOJ implements the act faithfully and transparently without further obfuscation or delay. On December 3rd, 2025, the bipartisan lead sponsors of the act wrote to Attorney General Pam Bondi to clarify recent comments that raised the concern that DOJ may withhold records and thereby fail to meet its statutory deadline this month. In parallel, we write to request that your office conduct a prompt audit of all chain of custody forms relating to the records the DOJ is required to release under the act, and that you promptly provide the Senate and House Judiciary Committees with the results of the audit once completed. So are you just saying that the act here, the discharge petition, which is, I guess, the Epstein Files Transparency Act? Okay. Gotcha. So that act triggers the grand jury. I don't remember there were like 3 things the grand jury was able to grant the request based on. I don't remember what they are. That would make sense that an act from Congress would grant that. You're probably right about that. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to be much of anything at all. If it's the testimony, it's mostly going to be the testimony of Epstein and Maxwell, which we kind of know from their court cases. So I don't know how much that'll reveal. I think the files are far more interesting. But I guess here we go. We're going to do CNN again. New photos released from the Epstein file, or I guess the Epstein estate. God damn. All right, fuck it. I forgot that on my phone. I'm going to have to find them. Give me a second, guys. I forgot CNN makes me go through behind a paywall there. All right. I only saw like a handful of pictures. I don't know if there's more than this. This is this Woody, what's Woody's last name? The filmmaker Woody, not Harrelson. Woody, what's Woody's last name? He was the one that was like married his own stepchild. Woody Allen, thank you. Not sure who this is here. There's Epstein. Thanks, guys. There's obviously Trump with a bunch of young girls. This, I think, was at his, like, I forget what it was called, like, Look of the Year. I think it was called Look of the Year. where he just brought in a bunch of like really young women, and it was him and Epstein and a handful of other dudes, and they just got them all drugged up. I think that's probably from there. Woody Woodpecker, that's what it is. There's Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon sure is in here a lot. This guy was running Trump's campaign, basically. He still is a massive contributor to the way that the Trump administration operates. I see the frames. Yeah, this looks like, that's a small kid. What do we have here? Is that someone passed out? Can I do this? It won't let me zoom in specifically on that. I don't know why it does this. Jesus. How do you go in that office? And what are these frames, too? I'm gonna be honest, like those frames don't match with the decor. This is strange. I hadn't even looked at those Trump condoms. Oh, digital photo frame, maybe? Okay. I was looking at the red one, but I guess that makes sense if it's digital. The blue frame's a little odd. Maybe they're both digital frames. What else do we have? I don't know who that is. Saw that one already. There's Bannon and Woody Allen. Best buds. Bannon was trying to rehab the Jeffrey Epstein image. Doesn't look good. There's Epstein on with Woody Allen again. I know I saw some stuff earlier. I think everybody's, I think, seen this one before. Do we know who this is? Got to see what pick, Claudia. Which pic should I zoom in on? I don't know why when I'm on Streamlabs I can't zoom in on pictures. It does kind of look like Bondi. Picture with Trump and the girl on the plane. This one? What do you want me to, what am I looking at here? What would I be zooming in? It's pretty blurry. What am I, any idea? Hold control and scroll. It doesn't do it. Like it makes everything but the picture bigger. Like everything else, but not the picture. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a Streamlabs thing. Oh, the one on his desk. Let me see if I can find in. Let me see if somebody has zoomed in. This is chummy. This is like late Epstein. Wish they had dates on it. This was Epstein not long before he died. What should I be looking at when I zoom in here? Blonde one was Ingrid Senhayev, maybe? Oh, you're saying you think this looks like Virginia Guffey? Yeah, Woody Allen's a different one. I didn't know anything about Woody Allen until I saw the documentary about him. Let's see if anybody zoomed in on any of this stuff. What's that? It's not him. Fuck is this? Oh my God. Okay, here's some stuff I hadn't seen. The jawbreaker gag. Always observe a person who has a gag in their mouth. Never leave the person unattended. Got warnings. What in the... All right. I don't think we have to guess. I don't think it's a tickle glove. This reminds me of the glove that Stick's dad has me use. It's similar. His is pink. Real similar though. This is Larry Summers, right? Bill Clinton. Anybody know who either of these two are? I haven't seen Obama in the files. Can you tell me where Obama is in the files? Be happy to talk about Obama if he's in the files. I've seen no evidence. There's Prince Andrew and Bill Gates, Dershowitz. Bill Gates. I mean, it is crazy that he has these pictures on his wall. I mean, he really thought he was untouchable. That's OJ's glove. The photo with Allen and Bannon, the children's whiteboard. All right, let me go back. Oh, like a little art easel. I think this is just the pilot and Bill Gates. It was weird what he was doing with his hand here. What do you always saw that one? What's his name? Branson. Anybody know who this guy is? It's gently touching Branson's shoulder. Thanks, Bertie. Any link to wrongdoing yet from this drop? No, I don't think so. This is on Twitter. House oversight. In fact, actually, we could probably just get House oversight. Actually, you can probably just go on there. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Bet it's on their website. Let's see. I know where they would find it. Media Center, press releases. Let's see.
Hey, check our DMs. Namaste sent the image from the desk zoomed in so you can see that.
Okay.
And then also Steve just messaged me. What time would you like him to come on?
Whenever. I would recommend not right now since we're doing Epstein stuff. It'd be a weird time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just whenever. You gauge that whenever you feel like there's a lull. Because
Okay.
I'm going to forget. Jesus.
Shocking.
Fuck. People are weird. Where is it? Did they not? How did they release them? It was just 19 photos. Okay, so here's all 19, I think. Is there any that we didn't see yet? I wonder why they chose just these 19. Oh, there's... Ooh, is this one going to get me in trouble? Let me take this off screen real quick to make sure I'm not going to get in trouble for this. I think we're all right. I don't even know. That's one of those suction cup things. Is that for cupping? What in the world am I looking at here? All right, if this is all they... Somebody said, like, it was a lot worse than what they released. Like there's a lot of really disturbing stuff released. So I think we're going to have some weird shit next week. Releasing them slow. Yeah, I don't know. Usually when they're releasing, when they've been releasing them slow, it's been kind of like to get Republicans to respond or get Trump to respond and deny something and then put something else out. I don't know what would be denied there. I guess Trump could say like, see, I do have a big dick. And then they'll be like, show us what their plan is there. Not that kind of cupping. That wasn't for cupping. What is that? Was that a penis pump? Is that what that was? For plumping? Yeah. Anyways, let's get out of that and talk about a different human trafficker, Kristi Noem. We played some of the clips yesterday from her hearing with Congress, and at some point she didn't even stay for this whole time. It was so pathetic. I want really hard questions, her filibustering, and then Republicans just like fluffing her and telling her what a great job she is. If I was a Republican, I would think it was awfully pathetic. Fuck you for telling me muted. I would think it was awfully pathetic that everybody in my party would refuse to ask Kristi Noem a tough question and just sat there. It's a V pump? Am I getting mocked here? A V pump? What do you use a V pump for? Never mind. I shouldn't have asked that question. Don't answer that question in the chat. I don't want to know. I don't even know. I don't know what to think. I have no idea what to think there. We can talk about it in Friendly Friday later. Do that. All right. Anyways, here's Kristi Noem. First with Representative Magaziner. Not sure how to say it. This was brilliant.
United States military veterans have you deported?
Sir, we have not deported U.S. citizens or military veterans.
I don't believe you served in the military. I haven't either, but I think you and I can agree that as Americans, we owe everything to those who have served our country in uniform, particularly those who have served in combat. Do you agree with that?
Sir, I believe that people that are in this United States that are citizens have legal status here.
Madam Secretary, we are joined on Zoom by a gentleman named...
My favorite part of this whole hearing is everybody knew what Kristi Noem was going to do, and it feels like they planned for it. So they ask her questions, and if she doesn't answer it in a way that they like, they just talk over her. They just holler over her. And it was brilliant. And they don't make eye contact with her anymore. They don't even pretend to give her attention. And then she would just kind of quit.
Their citizens have legal status here.
Madam Secretary, we are joined on Zoom by a gentleman named Sejun Park. He is a United States Army combat veteran who was shot twice while serving our country in Panama in 1989. Like many veterans, he struggled with PTSD and substance abuse after his service. He was arrested in the 1990s for some minor drug offenses, nothing serious. He never hurt anyone besides himself, and he's been clean and sober for 14 years. He is a combat veteran, a Purple Heart recipient. He has sacrificed more for this country than most people ever have. Earlier this year, you deported him to Korea, a country he hasn't lived in since he was 7 years old. Will you join me in thanking Mr. Park for his service to our country?
Sir, I'm grateful for every single person that has served our country and follows our laws.
Can you please...
Why can't you just say yeah? This is the thing about Kristi Noem, and I think this is kind of what like Republicans have become in general. Anytime I've ever debated them, they always just try and figure out a way not to answer your question, or they always assume that this question is like loaded. You can't tell this man on the screen that you're thankful for his service. You have to just say I'm thankful for everybody's service. You can't do that. They're asking, can you tell this guy thank you for his service? We can't do that. How hard would that be?
Please tell Mr. Park why you deported him.
Every one of them needs to be enforced.
But you understand that many veterans struggle with PTSD, many veterans struggle with substance abuse challenges. This man took 2 bullets for our country. You have broad authority, by the way, as Secretary, to issue humanitarian parole, to do deferred action. Will you commit to at least looking at Mr. Park's case to see if you can help him find a pathway back to this country that he sacrificed so much for?
I will absolutely look at his case, but I want you...
Why are we deporting people? Like, why can you come and fight for this country, take a bullet for this country, and get deported? I want to know, Republicans, why you think that that's okay. Fuck up. Honestly, that 12... nobody was clapping for a 12-year-old kid with cancer. They were clapping because that 12-year-old kid with cancer supported deportations. It was a pathetic stunt. Nobody had a problem with that kid for cancer. That was a pathetic stunt, and you all know it was a pathetic stunt. What's the problem here? What are they using him for? Make this the same. They're telling the story about how she deported somebody who fought for this country. He got deported for, I think it was like a DUI charge from like 20 years ago. And the reason that he got deported is not because they wanted to go after him. It's because they're fucking lazy and they're looking for people to deport. I don't know if he may have eventually deported. I don't know. But what they're doing is they're going through anybody who came here, who broke the law at any point, and they're going back 10, 15 years. They did it with Abrego Garcia. All right. Hopefully we got it figured out. We'll see. I had to do I had to send something to Streamlabs that I didn't realize they had asked me for. So hopefully we can get that figured out. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know what we do. It's every day. You had a feeling how it was going to be. Welcome back, everybody. We'll jump back into kind of right where we left off. Let me go here. We were talking about Kristi Noem. I want to show Dan Goldman. Dan Goldman absolutely just obliterated Kristi Noem, and I could watch this on repeat. Dan Goldman has no time for Kristi Noem's shit, and shows us how you should deal with Trump appointees. One of the most frustrating things listening to this hearing is the amount of people who said, "I've sent you letters. I've asked you to meet with me. We've asked to do oversight, and nobody ever responds to our letters." And if you are a Democrat, then that should be frustrating because Kristi Noem doesn't work for Trump. She works for all of us. They have oversight. The people that we send to Congress have just as much oversight as anybody else, and they just refuse to do oversight. Why? Because they don't like that the oversight is critical of them. I know the clip isn't.
Okay,
What?
just make sure. I was going to say we're not seeing it.
Just a black screen. It'll go, though. All right, here it is.
Secretary Noem, let's talk about the law. Do you agree that asylum is a lawful pathway to immigrate to this country? Yes or no?
There's an asylum program, yes, in place.
All right. So
It wasn't
immigrants then
presented
with
by the-
ongoing asylum applications are legal.
I loved that so much. I'm going to rewind it again. He knows exactly what she's going to do. Just no, thank you. Thanks for answering.
To immigrate to this country? Yes or no?
There's an asylum program, yes, in place.
All right. So
It wasn't
immigrants then
decided.
with ongoing asylum applications are legally in this country, correct?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Your question was?
Immigrants with ongoing asylum
Stick's here whining. Mute Stick for 5 minutes.
applications are legally in this country.
There are individuals in this country that have applications that
And they are legally here because it's a lawful pathway, right?
it's a lawful pathway.
Okay, so
And I
if
will-
your department then deports anyone with an ongoing asylum application, you are violating the law, correct?
Joe Biden left us.
I'm not asking about Joe Biden.
I'm going to make you guys watch this over and over. There's no way that the answer to that should be Joe Biden unless you are just a thoughtless turd, which she is.
Law, correct?
Joe Biden left us with.
I'm not asking about Joe Biden. I'm asking you a
1.5
specific
million
question.
cases
If your
backlogged
department
asylum.
deports anyone with an ongoing asylum application,
The
you
program
are
was
violating the
greatly
law. Is that
violated.
correct?
It was greatly violated when they allowed
I'm
1.5
asking
million
you.
people to come
I'm
in and
asking you.
granted asylum.
We love this, says MAGA. Our favorite thing is when the government won't answer questions and give us transparency. It's our favorite thing. We don't need to know anything. We just want you to blame Democrats, and it works. By the way, whoever talks shit about my helmet in the background, that helmet was signed by Jerry Rice. You going to talk shit about the greatest receiver of all time? How dare you?
Why are you filibustering? Why can't you answer the question? It's a simple question.
Your president.
If your department
and your secretary
deports
did not follow
anyone
the law
with an ongoing
those
asylum application, you are violating.
Whiny liberals, shut the fuck up, Jimbo. Shut up, Jimbo. This lady's sitting here whining right now. Won't answer a question. You pathetic. If you're that Jim Jones too from TikTok, you're one of the most hysterical, whiniest people I've ever seen in my life. What are we talking about? Whiny liberals. They're asking her questions about her job. Why are they even asking her? Why don't they just roll over and take it like we do?
The law, isn't that correct?
The asylum program was
Okay.
broken under the
Mr.
last.
Chairman, I will reclaim my time. She's not answering the question. But the obvious answer is that yes, if you follow a lawful pathway, asylum is a lawful pathway. If you have an open asylum case, you are here lawfully. But the problem that we are seeing around the country is that you are not following the law. Don't tell us to change the law. If you don't like the asylum system, you change the asylum law. Bring it to us. We'll work with you. I think it needs to be changed. But you can't just decide that you're not going to follow the law, and asylum is a law, and deport people who have ongoing applications. Unfortunately, that is exactly what's happening.
Yeah. She breaks they're in willful defiance of court orders. I didn't get the clip, but somebody asked her about the amount of times that they have defied court orders, and she legitimately said, "Well, we don't really count a court order until it goes all the way to the Supreme Court. If a court rules you can't do something, that doesn't mean that you get to keep doing it until the Supreme Court tells you no." That's what they're openly telling people. We only listen to the Supreme Court. What the fuck is the point of these other courts then? And that's not how it works. If you and I are struck down by a court, we can appeal our case to the Supreme Court. We can try, but we have to follow the ruling first. They are openly telling you the Supreme Court is corrupt. We only trust them because we put them there, and we will not follow the law anywhere else. And you cucky little bitches. Yeah, yay! You cucky little bitches. Why are you doing this? Donald Trump means that much to you? Fuck the Constitution. I've got a MAGA hat. He means that much to you? You don't care about the laws anymore? Goldman's right. Our asylum laws are broken. That's what Trump ran on. Why not change them? Is the Republican Congress at any point going to take their fingers out of their own assholes and do anything? Or are they just there to cheerlead Trump? All they've done as a Congress is give a massive tax cut to billionaires, and then they have sat around fingering each other's assholes while staring at pictures of Donald Trump. They have literally done nothing else. This is I think of all the Congresses in history, it's one of the bottom 3 least effective Congresses. They're doing nothing. They sit around and wait for Trump to do something so they can tweet about it. It's pathetic how subservient all of you have become to one guy. There is no independent thought. None of you can explain anything. You have just now decided that loyalty to Donald Trump is the only thing you care about. And this is why they went after religious people. This is why Trump, a person who can't name a scripture, can't cite a scripture, has never been Christian his whole life, he went after you because you guys already do this. Christians already do this thing where they say that the highest honor is faith. It's believing shit without evidence. And you honor Christians, which is fine when it's your faith. I don't care. I'm not trying to necessarily criticize your faith, but if you want to honor people for holding to their faith, that's fine. But don't do it in real life. When you leave pretend world, don't do it in real life where loyalty to Donald Trump, loyalty to MAGA is the only thing that you care about. Because what we're seeing here is an open fight against Congress, an open fight against the Constitution, an open fight against the courts. It's a wholesale rejection of American democracy. It is an open embrace of fascism, but because they tell you that it's not fascism, you're like, oh, it must not be fascism. Looks like I got some muting to do. What about Muslims? I said all religions, but I'm telling you why Donald Trump targeted you. Yes, everybody who's religious has this problem, and you all need to be aware of it, that your faith exposes you to other ideologies that rely on loyalty, on trusting the plan. You just immediately lost a second. You went after religion. See, you're proving my point there, Chigmeister. Oh, I would listen to you, but my beliefs in a sky daddy are too important. See, but you just did it. Oh, I can't listen to somebody who doesn't believe in the same thing that I do. He didn't say he would do this. No, you're all full of shit. He didn't say he would ignore the courts. He didn't say he would go and deport people who were here legally. He said, I'm going to go after violent criminals. He's deporting people here legally. He's detaining, abusing, and beating on American citizens. He's using ICE to go and stop and ID people who are citizens, something they have no right to do. And it's fine. If you voted for him for this, then don't say you're not a fascist. Don't say you're not a cuck. Don't say it's not a cult. You can't have it both ways. You can't be the people who just wholesale embrace anything Donald Trump does, even when it's new, and even when it flies in the face of democracy or the Constitution, and then also be like, don't call us a cult. He said we needed to get legal immigrants out. Dalton, show me that. Where was that clip, Dalton, where he said we need to get legal immigrants out of this country? Okay, well, do you need me to play this clip again for you, Dalton? Let's play it again. Are we talking about legal immigrants in this clip, Dalton? Here.
Secretary Noem, let's talk about the law. Do you agree that asylum is a lawful pathway to immigrate to this country? Yes or no?
There's an asylum program, yes, in place.
All right, Dalton, now you have to talk to me. Do you agree with both Dan Goldman there and Kristi Noem that asylum is a legal way to immigrate? Is that a legal process, Dalton? Chigmeister, I can almost guarantee I know more about your religion than you. I was deeply religious for a very long time. I bet I know scripture better than you, but I do also know that most of it, I don't care that you believe it. It's not provable though. It's not science. It's not fact. It's your belief, and you're doing the thing that we all that I'm accusing you of doing. You're pretending that your beliefs are reality. You're pretending that your beliefs are unshakable, that nothing can knock them down in it, like factually. No, nothing can knock your faith down. You're always going to be who you are, and that's fine. You can keep that faith. But if you apply those same principles to regular life, you open yourself up to be deceived, to be lied to. Now, where did Dalton go? Do we have Dalton? Dalton ran. All right, Dalton. If Dalton comes back, mods, feel free to mute Dalton for not answering this question, because that's my guess is Dalton wanted to engage and now he doesn't. But just so we're clear, there, it's a legal process. So we're talking about deporting legal immigrants. See, there it is again. Liberalism's a mental disorder. Can't reason with crazy. Yeah. See what you do? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Why they choose people like you, because you wholesale dismiss things. You've already decided that anything a liberal says you can't reason with. G-Body, are you trying to fight me because I see? It's further proof. If I say I don't believe what you believe, you want to fight me. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is why he chose you. This is why he went after Republicans. You're emotional and you believe things without evidence, and you get very upset when somebody believes something that you don't believe. You're all proving my point. And why did they flooded the system so these people will become permanently here and eventually vote? They didn't. 97% of asylum seekers are not granted asylum, but they're allowed to go through the asylum process. So if you deport somebody in the middle of a legal process, you're deporting somebody who's here legally. Most of the people who have looked for asylum in this country that came here during the Biden administration, most of them are leaving. The ones that are still here are just waiting to have their claims, but they're still rejecting most of the claims. You guys could just learn something instead of getting upset. Oh, I'm emotional. I'm very emotional. But I also use data. You don't. But my feelings have nothing to do with my belief. This isn't even a belief thing. Is it a law or is it not a law? It's a law. And then you guys go, well, I don't believe that it should be the law. I don't really like this. So I'm okay ignoring the law. I'm just saying keep the law. If you don't like the law, change the law. How often do you see blue-haired liberals crying? Never. I've never seen a blue-haired liberal crying. But most people don't have blue hair. There's another, it's just more evidence that you are indoctrinated, that you don't live in reality. Every one of you, you don't live in reality. I'm guessing that everybody who says that, you're lonely, you hang around the same friends, you live in a very ethnically undiverse place. There's like blue-haired liberals is such a cucky thing to say. Change the law. Stop getting mad at liberals for pointing out that you guys are breaking the law. All right, keep going here. All right, then it went to is this the one? This is Diane. I think it's Diane Figueroa. She's an American citizen who was unlawfully detained, arrested, and assaulted by ICE. ICE can't detain you or arrest you if you are a legal citizen. ICE has no authority to arrest you or detain you if you are a citizen or if you have legal status. And yet they do, and you guys don't care because why? Because you're part of a movement, not an ideology. This isn't about the law. It's about Donald Trump. And none of you have been able to figure that out yet. I don't think it's unless the spelling's wrong. It's D-A-Y-A-N-N-E is the spelling I have. I don't know if it's Dion, but the spelling I have is D-A-Y-A-N-N-E. I don't think that would be Dion.
My name is Diane Figueroa. I am a proud
Diane. There you go, Diane.
First-generation Mexican-American, a criminal justice major, a single mother, and a future law student. What happened to me almost exactly 2 months ago on October 10, 2025, was not law enforcement. It was violence, blatant racial profiling, and a shocking abuse of federal authority. That morning, I kissed my son goodbye and watched him walk into school, never imagining that it would be what felt like days before I felt safe again. On my regular commute into Chicago, I approached what looked like chaos. Cars stopped in the middle of the street, people running, yelling, and recording on their phones.
You're not allowed to detain somebody to figure out if they're legal or not. C.R. Willen, smart guy. Show me the statute that says ICE is allowed to detain you to decide whether or not you're legal. They have to have evidence that you're not beforehand. That's how this works. See what I mean? Every time they open their mouth, they're just proving they don't understand any of this. They're just in a cult. They're just backing Donald Trump. They're just backing anything he does. And instead of looking it up, instead of figuring out what is the law, they just say, here's what I think the law is. And when I correct them, they don't care. It won't change anything. Even when you find out that this is an illegal detainment, even when you find that out, it won't change anything. You'll be like, oh, I just don't care then.
Moments later, my life changed forever. A silver SUV with double tinted windows suddenly swerved into my lane and struck my car. The driver's face was almost entirely concealed. Hat, dark tinted glasses, and a face mask. He made no gesture, no signal. Before I could even process what was happening, his passengers, other masked men, jumped out with guns drawn and aimed directly at me. They ripped open
Probable cause? Yeah, thank you. Ever heard of it?
my door. One of them screamed in my face, demanding that I get out.
Great, OC Surfer. Great. Mistakes will be made, and this is a mistake. Nothing's perfect. But your administration keeps fucking lying. They say that they didn't do this. There's no repercussions for them doing this. This is the point. I'm glad that you're seeing this. Now ask yourself why Kristi Noem can't say what you said. Why can't Tom Homan admit this? This is the part where we're struggling, is that we're asking for them. Yes, mistakes will be made. When they make mistakes, one, they should be held accountable for those mistakes. This one was easy. We've all seen the video. ICE ran into her and then got out of the car and arrested her. They weren't even trying to run into her. They caused a car wreck and then arrested her. They weren't even looking for her. These are just a bunch of angry psychopaths that apparently we're not checking their history. We're not vetting them very well. If you can admit it, demand that Republicans admit it. Take our side right. No, don't be a bitch right now, OC Surfer. Don't be like, oh, other people lied. You be honest for 1 second. You be fucking honest, and you be on our side right now. You talk to your other Republican friends in the chat right now and tell them that this was a mistake and it shouldn't happen and they should take accountability. We're not playing whataboutism with your bullshit today. You'll get muted. Now that you know that they're wrong, talk to your Republican friends here. That would go a long way in stopping this nonsense we have, this divide. That when you guys find out you're wrong, that you held your friends accountable and tried to clear the record. But you're not. You immediately went to, what about?
Yet never identifying himself, never asked me for my ID, and never told me where I was being detained or why. They never read me my rights. Instead, I was violated. These tough guys violently dragged me out of my car, yanked me by my feet, and ripped the phone out of my hands. Beaten.
OC Surfer is muted for 5 minutes, and that's your only chance. Thanks.
Bleeding and barefoot, I was thrown into a red van. I begged them to...
And you're a cow. Actually, 24 hours. I'm done with OC Surfer today. 24 hours. You can come back next week. I'm tired of your bullshit. You're such a fucking coward. You're such a fucking coward. Why can't you call out your party and then you just start insulting me? There you go.
Tell me who they were and where they were taking me. No one answered. I was shoved into the edge of a third row seat. No seatbelt, suffocating body heat, and no air conditioning. I was wedged between two terrified Latino men who did not speak English. We were all handcuffed, unsecured, helpless, and I went into a full panic attack. While I was shaking, crying, gasping for air, and banging my own head against the window, screaming for help, hoping someone from the outside could hear me, they raised their phones and began to photograph me. Two more masked men in full black tech.
Can we just point out this is a woman? Being kidnapped by masked men. There have been people faking being ICE agents. No identification. She has no idea. We just need to do this. This is really important for us to do here. Every one of those ICE agents should be fired. Every one of them. What possible reasoning could we have for keeping those ICE agents employed? They clearly don't know how to do their job. They clearly don't know what the law is. They're clearly too thin-skinned and irrational to do this job.
Practical gear, carrying professional cameras, have been circling me from the beginning, documenting my terror.
Mark de Gloria, bye for 24 hours. Have a good day.
Where those images ended up, only God knows. I was not treated like a human being, and I was certainly not treated like a U.S. citizen, but I was preyed upon. They were proud to have captured me. I was first violated at the Broadview Immigration Detention Center, and eventually while in FBI custody.
Doesn't matter if she looks okay to you or not. She's not allowed to be detained or arrested. So I'm going to mute you for that and watch how quickly you guys complain about it. Well, we can't hear any complaining from people muting today, by the way. No complaining from Republicans. Until you're detained and put in jail, you can't complain anymore. If she's not allowed to complain, you're not allowed to complain. So for the next 10 minutes, mods, you have free will. Anybody you see complaining, any Republican you see complaining or changing the subject, immediate 5-minute mutes. If she can't complain, you guys can't complain. That's what we're going to do now.
City in Lombard, Illinois. Everything moved quickly and without explanation. I was fingerprinted, photographed, and swabbed for DNA, and fully processed and identified, all while my physical condition was rapidly...
Yeah, muting every Republican that's complaining. That it probably is going to be every Republican. I'm just saying, let's play by the same rules. We're going to play by the rules that you want her to live by. I wanted to play by different rules. I wanted to talk about like things that are fair. I wanted everybody to be treated the same way. But since she is Hispanic and a woman, and you guys want her to not be treated fairly under the laws, we're now not going to let you be treated fairly here. We're going to treat you the way that you treat immigrants in this country. So that's the way things go now. Until you got, and then you're maybe you'll stop crying a little bit.
Worsening. I repeatedly told them that I was recovering from 2 recent kidney surgeries.
She's a citizen,
no one took
Jerry.
it seriously until I began to pee blood. I begged for help, for a phone call, a lawyer, for what?
And one other thing, and then I'll let her finish the story. If you want to talk to me, you can come up here and debate, not from the chat. Whiners don't get to debate in the chat. If you want to talk to me and actually have a debate, JenDub1 is the Venmo username. It's also the Discord username. You can just message her on Discord, and you can come up here. But no debating from the chat today.
Water, bandages, anything to ease the pain. Instead, I was laughed at and thrown into a filthy jail cell. The toilet available for me was under direct surveillance. With no privacy, no dignity, and unbearable pain, I had no choice but to use it. When visible blood appeared, their soulless demeanor finally vanished. Not out of care, but because they didn't want me to die in their custody. While I was being kidnapped, my family and friends were desperately trying to find me, contacting the members of our inner circles, elected officials, civil rights organizations, and legal advocates. They did not know whether I was being killed, kidnapped, or trafficked. Hours later, I was finally allowed to access my phone again by the heroic paramedics. My cut, trembling hands could barely type, but I managed to send a message at 2:07 p.m. in an ambulance. Within seconds, my boyfriend replied with something that stunned me: a photo of the very Village of Lombard ambulance I was inside of.
That's a good point. Swabbed for DNA. That's a Fourth Amendment violation. Correct. Every possible way they could violate her rights, they did it.
Their determination, love, and the refusal to stop searching are the only reasons I was not lost entirely. Like the hundreds of people, including children, who have been reported missing from the ICE locator system since these domestic terrorizations began in our country. Or worse, killed, like my neighbor and father of 2, Silvario Villegas Gonzalez of Franklin Park, Illinois. A father of 2 minors,
City, you don't have to pay to talk to me. The Venmo username is the same as her Discord username. Discord is free. You can come up here for free. And the reason I don't debate you from the chat is because as soon as you guys have a point that you get dunked on, you change the subject, and then it's just pointless. It's just a merry-go-round. So you have to come up here. We only debate people with courage, and we found that it filters out people with courage. Rarely does anybody come up here and debate because most of you have no courage.
My neighbor, he died in the course of an ICE operation. What happened to me that day is not an arrest. It was an assault and a kidnapping of a U.S. citizen. I was never arrested. I was never charged.
She's not. Yeah, she's a legal Colorado Kev. She is a citizen. She's a citizen of this country. So all of this is illegal. And Kristi Noem claims it didn't happen or that they had the right to do it.
Never given an explanation or an apology. But the damage is done, and it continues. I suffer severe bruising, nerve damage, a broken tooth, and aggravated injuries to my leg and wrists.
All right, somebody get rid of City then. Bye, City. Have a good day. 24 hours for City. City is making excuses for not debating.
My surgically repaired kidney became swollen and inflamed. And emotionally, I developed PTSD, panic attacks, and severe anxiety. I swear I've been kidnapped in my nightmares every single night since. Weeks later, a disturbing pattern emerged. Reports of nearly identical incidents. This time, a man with schizophrenia was kidnapped and later released in a completely different town by the same masked agents, using the same reckless tactics and the same red van they used to attack me in. It is important to say this clearly. The individuals who did this do not represent the honorable men and women who serve in our military, our local police departments, and our federal agencies with integrity and accountability. Those people protect us.
Thank you, Ms. Figueroa. If you can just wrap up in the next sentence or two.
Yes,
on time.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Despite everything, I am here. I am standing and I am speaking because I refuse ICE to rewrite my story. I refuse to let fear silence me. This was not just an incident. It was a violation of my physical being.
Ryan Paul, we didn't invite you here. You have come here illegally. You didn't follow the rules by getting here. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to detain you. There's no due process. So you get a 5-minute mute, and we're going to do this over and over today. We're now using Kristi Noem's immigration policy to deal with you guys today. I hope you enjoy it.
Rights, my dignity, and my humanity. And I will not rest until there's accountability, transparency, and change. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kev. Appreciate that. Yeah. That's not moving to any of these Christians. It's not moving that a single mom just driving to work after dropping off her kid gets hit by another car, and then because she got hit by another car, she gets detained, thrown to the ground, locked up. No love from the Christians there? All right. Here is Representative Robert Garcia.
This is actually a tweet by the Department of Homeland Security.
Mark. Mark said I suck. Mark, you can't come into our country and complain. You need to assimilate, Mark. You need to come into our country, and you need to accept me as the leader right now, and you need to assimilate. So I'm sorry. We are now detaining you, Mark, for 5 minutes for refusing to assimilate to our culture. Thank you.
And it says, stop fear-mongering. ICE does not arrest or deport U.S. citizens. If a U.S. citizen is arrested, it is because they have obstructed or assaulted law enforcement. ICE does not arrest or deport U.S. citizens. I just want to ask briefly each of the 5 U.S. citizens that are here, is this tweet a lie? Mr. Retes, is this tweet a lie?
100% it's a lie.
Ms. Figueroa?
Remember, that was the guy that was just his coworker was being arrested, and he was filming it, and so ICE then beat him up for filming it.
Do you agree? Is this tweet a lie?
That's a damn lie, and they know it.
Mr. Chavarria, is this tweet a truth or a lie?
It's a lie.
Mr. Ramirez, is this tweet true or a lie?
It's a lie.
Ms. Velez? Thank you. Now, every U.S. citizen here agree that this tweet by Homeland Security is a lie. And Secretary Noem should be ashamed. She should resign. She should not be running any agency of the United States of America.
That's about every single person that spoke to Kristi Noem pointed out that she was lying and she refused to take any accountability at all. At some point, she just gets up and leaves. She's like, I've got an appointment. I've got to go. And then Benny Thompson told us the truth about that later. Let's see. B87 said, if you spoke of the incident involving an immigrant in Washington State, I don't know if it's new today. No, I don't always remember where everybody's from. You can send it to Jen on Discord. I'll take a look at it. Amy Lynn said, emotional empathy and compassion. We know conservative Christians have zero. No, they actively fight against that. They say that empathy is a problem. They're afraid of empathy. Alfredo said, fuck Trump and his brainwashed maggots. I appreciate that. Is any over here? Let me check Jen's real quick. I don't think I missed any there. All right. Reminder, guys, it's been a nightmare today. We are crowdfunded, though, so anything you can do to help us knock out that goal before we go to Friendly Friday, which is in like an hour to an hour and a half. If we get it done in an hour, I'll end the stream and we'll do a full hour of Friendly Friday. If not, probably about an hour and a half.
Her arrival was short-lived, as you know. She left in the middle of the hearing, ostensibly to go to another meeting. We found that the meeting had been canceled, so she could have stayed. But nonetheless, we're not surprised because this is who she is.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I did need to go to a meeting. What meeting would be more important than oversight? Aren't we supposed to get answers from her? ICE took an American because he looked like he was Muslim, then released him and made him walk in the snow instead of returning him. They took him. Yeah, we covered that one. That was in Minnesota yesterday, right? I don't remember what his name is. He goes by like one name. We played that one yesterday. All right. Then this just made me laugh. Trump did this today. This whole thing is this whole thing with Donald Trump, like, it's a silly game. It's a very silly game that he's playing. For years, Democrats ignored violent and vicious crime of all shapes, sizes, colors, and types. Violent criminals who should have been locked up were allowed to attack again. Democrats were also far too happy to let in the worst from the worst countries so they could rip off American taxpayers. Democrats only think there is one crime, not voting for them. Instead of protecting Americans and their tax dollars, Democrats chose instead to prosecute anyone they could find that wanted safe and secure elections. Democrats have been relentless in their targeting of Tina Peters, a patriot who simply wanted to make sure that our elections were fair and honest. Tina is sitting in Colorado for the crime of demanding honest elections. Today, I'm granting Tina a full pardon for attempts to expose voter fraud in the rigged 2020 election. That's cool. And I wrote a new law saying everybody has to give me $5,000. It has just as much power as this pardon. Trump can't pardon somebody that is convicted of a state crime. So is he fucking stupid? Like, he can't do this. It's a state crime. Colorado told him to get fucked. She was prosecuted by a Republican. There were MAGA voters on that jury who were like, it was an open and shut case. She tried to cheat. She broke the law. She didn't, as Donald Trump said, just wanted to make sure our elections were fair and honest. She broke the law. She tried to cheat. And this pardon doesn't mean a goddamn thing. I'm seeing it on Twitter. It was just like MAGA. They're like, free Tina. Finally, Tina Peters will be free. It's like, no, she won't. She will not be free. It is all just a show. Like, it's silly. And maybe my only thought here is there's a lot of distraction happening right now. Colorado is a woke bitch-ass state. Jacob, you cannot come to our country here, our live country, and criticize us. If you are going to immigrate into our live, you are to assimilate both culturally and you have to keep all of our rules, and we have different rules for you. So what we're going to need from you, Jacob Richmond, is we're going to need you to say, I'm sorry, I love RTP. Otherwise, you get 5 minutes of muting. You need to assimilate, okay? We don't want people coming into our live country here and fucking up our culture. You're in here to destroy our culture, our very way of life. You're here to take our jobs. There's other chatters here. They want to chat. You're not going to come in and take their chatting experience away from them. You will assimilate, goddammit. And you'll vote for who we want you to vote for, too. If you vote for Trump, then you're out of here. Because that's part of being in this country now, is you have to agree with what I say. So you have to denounce Trump, too, when you're in here, okay? Thank you. Somebody, let's see if we can get his papers. Thank you. All right, let's go down to here. This was just a good breakdown. I don't think I've done like the best job explaining this. This was from Ed Conway from Sky News explaining. It's about a 7-minute video, but I thought it was really informative. I reached out to some people in the oil industry just to see like is he basically on the right track? They say yes. But this was a really interesting piece from Sky News.
Now, Donald Trump.
Oh, sorry. Gobe said, I hope Trump runs in 2028. Nope. You're muted now too, Kobe. Sorry. Now you're advocating that we go against the Constitution. You're coming here into this country and you're advocating that we go against the Constitution. That's the law of the land, my friend. Lock him up, mods. Lock up Kobe. 5 minutes, Kobe. You're being locked up. Assimilate, you bitch. Assimilate or shut the fuck up. Nobody feels bad for you. We're gonna put you in jail for a little bit. There were no due process, no trial. Get the fuck out. Should I start talking like so then there's like, oh, it's Tom Homan. Yeah, that's right. Also, Jacob, we need your social media history for the last 5 years. Send it. There we go. Brian Graham, deported. Brian Graham, assimilate! Don't come try and take our culture. When you assimilate, you make an ass out of I and relate. Hey, Howdy says, at left, right, what chapter? At left, right says Gospel of John 9 through 34. Thanks. What are we doing? We got a Bible study going on in the chat? Swish says, mute daddy, tyrant daddy, anti-1A daddy, double daddy. Thank you.
Is insisting that the main reason he's interested in Venezuela, the main reason the US is kind of looking at tankers off the coast of Venezuela comes back to drugs, the trade, the smuggling of illegal drugs out of Venezuela. But what if it's not just that? Maybe there's something else.
Oh, Jimbo, back to your 5 minutes. Jimbo's getting 24 hours. Jimbo, you are now on the list. You're out forever. You are officially deported to El Salvador with him. Lock him up. Put a bag over his head. Send him to El Salvador. You're out. Scotty, you're out. Sorry, guys. You don't get to come into our country and just do whatever you want and try and take us over. Not happening. You will assimilate and eat this bland chicken with mayonnaise. That's goddamn right. You've got culture in this room.
Going on? What if it's partly...
Trump is not my daddy. El Salvador to you. Jacob Richmond. 24 hours for Jacob Richmond. Be gone! Be gone, vile sir!
About oil. Now, on the surface, you might be thinking, why does America even need Venezuelan oil? And I can kind of understand your point, because if you look at just total oil production, look, this is up until 2005. The US was there, Venezuela was there, Saudi Arabia was there. But as you probably know, since then, everything has changed. Look, American output has gone through the roof, way above Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela has gone basically to the floor. And that's kind of post-Chavez, Maduro. They're one of the minnows now, I think 21st biggest producer in the world. So again, that question, why should America care? Well, in the US, that big rise is largely down to this. It's down to the shale revolution. So you've got fracking all around the US producing extraordinary amounts.
It is wild how much excitement and body language he produces when talking about shale oil. I was really like blown away at how much energy he has talking about oil. Mr. Global, where's Mr. Global? Somebody tell me he's got to up the energy.
Of crude oil. And here's where we get to the interesting bit. Because when you're thinking about crude oil, maybe you're just thinking about, well, look, barrels of oil. It's all the same, isn't it?
Trump for UK. Scotty, be gone, vile sir. 5-minute mute for Scotty. You know what? Fuck that. Jen, you can't say Trump in the chat anymore. We're no longer allowing the word Trump in the chat. Or Joe Biden or Biden. None of those words in the chat today.
Well, actually, no. So if you kind of look at crude oil, there are various different types of crude in different parts of the world. There's actually kind of various different ways you can categorize it. But one way you can look at it is look at the kind of density. So you're basically looking at how thick that crude is. And when I say thick, I mean literally how thick. This is showing you global production broken down by the density of that oil. And so,
I mean, we're going to laugh a little bit, right? About, you expect me to just watch talking about viscosity and thickness and density? We're going to laugh at this, right? I didn't know that, though, about light oil.
You've got the kind of medium stuff. And this is probably, if you've got kind of image in your mind of what crude oil looks like, it's a bit like this, you know, it's kind of black, but it's not too viscous, it flows around. But there's other stuff as well. So this is light crude. And it kind of almost...
I'm pretty sure this is actually what RFK drinks in the morning. This is just his morning, like, booster shot.
Looks like a smoothie, doesn't it? And that's the same stuff. This is still crude oil, but down to the kind of geological and the biological conditions in the ground when it was being formed, you know, hundreds of millions of years ago, it comes out looking a bit different. And so that's light. You've also got heavy stuff. And it's kind of relatively small in global production.
And unmedicated Friday, too. Love it. Yeah, we're a little... I'm also a little I'm doubly medicated. After we took the break, when the stream shut down, I medicated a little bit in those few minutes as well.
But this is gloopy, super viscous stuff. Heavy oil. So heavy, medium, light.
This is the best way to learn about oil, isn't it? Have you ever enjoyed learning about oil more than we are right now? This is unbelievable.
Remember that. And remember also, the key thing here is you get it out of the ground, it may look like that, but ultimately...
Are these more photos from the Epstein files? This is what your shit looks like when you're 80 years old and you eat fish fillets every day. Can we talk about the fact, by the way, that Donald Trump goes to McDonald's, but he orders a fish fillet? Can we talk about that? Should be disqualifying. You can't order a fucking fish fillet from McDonald's. That has to be the worst thing on the menu. There's no way there's something worse on the menu than a fish fillet.
You still need it to go into, you know, someone's car, or indeed, you know, be turned into chemicals. Basically, you need to process it, and that processing, that happens in places like this, in refineries. And there are refineries all over the world, of course. There are refineries all over the US as well. There's kind of more than 100 of them. And if we kind of look at where those refineries are, well, so there's some in California. So the history in America, actually, historically, a lot of the early Californian oil, that was the heavy, gloopy stuff.
It's because woke. Now we know that wokeism is gloopy. Just if you didn't know that.
And if you look at kind of some of the refineries in America, so here are some of the refineries. There's one in LA there. These are the 10 biggest. You've got some up here around kind of towards Canada. We'll kind of come to that in a second. But a lot of them are down there, kind of Texas, Louisiana, on the coast. And here's the critical thing. These refineries are primarily set up for heavy oil, for taking that gloopy stuff and turning it into gasoline and all of the other different products. But here's where things get interesting. And remember that chart I showed you a moment ago, the one which showed kind of shale oil and how it kind of went through the roof? The oil that's generally produced with shale oil, the fracking oil, that comes out of the ground mostly in the light form. So it's the smoothie. It's sometimes actually even clear.
Somehow I just know that this is Republicans' favorite kind of oil. This something about it being light, 40 plus. It tells me that this is Republicans' favorite oil.
out of the ground clear rather than black. And that's the majority of American production right now. Shale oil tends to be light stuff. And actually, that's kind of going back 10 years. Look at where we are now. Look at those bars. In the last few years, the amount of light oil being produced in the US has gone up and up and up, and the amount of kind of heavy stuff has gone down. But back to those refineries. They need to be fed. If America's going to have gasoline, it needs to feed those refineries with heavy oil. So if you look at the kind of imports coming into America, in recent years, even though America is producing so much oil, more oil than...
Muslims eat fish sandwiches from McDonald's because it's halal. You're dissing a whole religion. Listen, if you're a Muslim here and you are offended that I said that the fish fillet sucks, stop being a bitch, okay? If you think that's if you think that's offending the whole religion, you got to toughen the fuck up, okay? I know that what you're trying to do is like do this woke thing. I just want you to know, I know you've been complaining a lot. I don't like any religion. I will make fun of every single religion. I don't care. I think that they're all silly, and I think that you all have the right to have a religion, and I have the right to call it silly. If you're a Christian though, and you're like, our religion's good, but the other ones are bad, I think that you also are silly. But yeah, if somebody got offended that I was making fun of fish fillet and it offended a whole religion, that's fine. If the whole religion was offended by that, I would think that the whole religion was full of bitches. But we have some Muslim friends here, and they weren't the ones offended, so I have this sneaking suspicion it didn't offend them.
Ever produced before, it still needs to suck in loads of oil from overseas. And the type of oil we're talking about, it used to be, it's mostly heavy crude. It used to be only 12%. So only 12% of imports were heavy, gloopy crude. Now, it's about 70%.
Tom Farrell told me to adhere to my own guidelines. Shut the fuck up, Tom. My guidelines can change whenever I want them to change, regardless of the law. You will assimilate, Tom. You will not be disrespectful to me, Tom Farrell. You will be quiet, good sir. Silence. 5 minutes. Send him to Alligator Alcatraz for 5 minutes. Goodbye, Tom.
So 70% of the oil coming into America, which it needs to basically keep its economy going, is heavy crude. And where does heavy crude come from? Well, here are some of the big countries where you find most of it.
Oh, Leroy. 2 minutes for Leroy. No complaining about the rules here, Leroy. I am the one that makes the decisions. You are to follow what I do blindly and support it blindly, Leroy. 2 minute mute for Leroy. Assimilate, you bitch.
It's Canada and Venezuela. There's one other I'll come to in a second, which we'll come back to. But it's Canada and it's Venezuela where you get most of this heavy crude oil, which is why, about to think about where those refineries are, they're mostly set up kind of, you've got some in the north there to get the heavy oil coming out of Canada, and you've got some around the kind of Louisiana.
That's a good point. RTP Skoda says, nothing I do in an official capacity of streaming is illegal. I do what I want, and you take it. And you smile back. You buy some fucking merch, too. Maybe that's what we ought to do. Give out 24-hour bans, and they can't get there. They can't come back until until they buy some merch. We'll release some sneakers, some NFTs. Look for my crypto coin to launch here pretty soon. It's totally not going to be a scam.
And elsewhere in Texas to get that heavy oil that comes in from Venezuela. That was kind of the way they were set up. And it's really expensive to rebuild these things. You can't just chuck out a refinery very easily overnight. Some came from Mexico and the Gulf of Mexico as well, and that was pretty heavy too. So that's the picture in America. And the upshot is, even though America is producing more and more oil, the imports, this is showing you imports of oil into America, are still really high. And if you break down those imports by the country that stuff is coming from, well, there's Venezuela. And it used to be a decent slug, actually more coming from Venezuela just about than from Canada, just at the turn of the millennium. But now look at what's happened since. Right now, Canada has gone from 15% of all of the US imports of oil to 61%. 61%. And Venezuela is basically next to nothing. But here's what's tantalizing, and here's the reason I think that a lot of people are looking towards Venezuela and thinking, well, there's more to this than just drugs. Look at total oil reserves around the world. The higher these bars are, the more oil there is in the ground, so that hasn't yet been taken out of the ground. So there you've got Saudi, Iran, Iraq, all of the usual suspects. But the biggest of all, and this is according to various...
All right, now we've got a problem. Belioso Belos is also now a terrorist. We are labeling Belioso Belos a terrorist organization. That means, mods, from now on and until I change my mind, going forward, it's block on sight. No due process, because now Belioso is a terrorist organization. So we don't even have to detain them. You could do whatever you want. Double tap the block on Belioso Belos. Every time you see Belioso Belos, you mute and block and then try and do it again. If Belioso wiggles around at all or tries to come back in, double tap Belioso Belos out. Sterlo, bye, bud. 5 minutes for Sterlo.
Different sources.
I hereby declare, I hereby declare Belioso Belos is a terrorist organization who must be banned now. And Sterlo, you little bitch, you know better. Come back in 5 minutes.
Biggest of all is Venezuela. And what's that oil?
Oh, yeah, thank you for your attention to this matter. Thank you.
It's the heavy, tarry stuff that you might well want to put into those American refineries. And there is really only one other place in the world that has a kind of serious amount of heavy oil other than Canada.
So, just to go back, so that I have interrupted a lot, and I'm out of my fucking mind today. But basically what he's saying is, like, we have these refineries that we need to refine this oil or they're going to go bust. So we need this oil. Not because it's going to make things better for you. Get outside my door. It's not going to make your oil cheaper. It's more expensive to refine. So this is just another war for no fucking reason. It's not about drugs.
And Venezuela, and lo and behold, guess where that is? It's Russia. All of which is to say, it matters what kind of oil America needs. It's worth just delving into these kind of nuances because that helps you understand a little bit more about the backstory of geopolitics.
Can I explain why we can't just take the oil? Because it's a different country. We're not supposed to just go steal other people's stuff, you Christians. That's why. It is interesting. Like, we just stole a boat. We just went into the ocean and we stole a boat. And we hijacked a boat, we stole it. And Republicans are like, well, yeah, it's because it was sanctioned. Yeah, we shouldn't be able to do that either. Why do we get to tell Venezuela that they can't ship oil to Iran? You can't even say, well, because people in Iran say death to America. What? But Trump just pardoned a guy that was trying to kill Americans. So what are we doing? Who allowed Ukraine war? Nobody allowed it, dipshit. Russia invaded. What, you think somebody opened the door? Come on in. Come on in. You think Russia called for permission? Hey, Joe Biden, mind if I invade Ukraine? They just did it. What are you talking about? We shouldn't be like them. Why are all of you Christian conservatives such fucking ghouls? Why do you want to invade all these countries? Couldn't we just not murder people for a while? Did you guys get bored not murdering people? Iran should give Trump a gold-plated uranium pellet as a peace prize. That's what they really ought to. Just call it the Donald Trump Peace Prize of Iran, and he'll leave him alone. Thou shalt not steal. That's a good point, Greg. Maybe we don't steal other people's land and resources and boats. Are we really explaining why we can't steal? We are, Zap. That's what we have to do here with these MAGA. Jerry said, woke power, go back to your own chat. That's right. We didn't want you here anyways. This is what the chat voted for, okay? Unchecked, unbridled, irrational power. With great power comes great responsibility too. Tom said this channel sucks. Go back to your own channel, Tom. Tom QTS2R. Mods, get rid of him. Don't come here and complain. Go back to your channel, Tom. Nobody asked you to come here anyways. This is what the people voted for. We should make our own ICE. Maybe we should just call all of our mods ICE now. I was mandated to do this. Thank you, Joyful. This is what they voted for. I have no choice. I have a mandate. Are you saying that the U.S. does not pay their fellow landowners handsomely for what they decide to squander under every democratic excuse? What? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know. 12. Vote 12. I vote Jay takes his shirt off. You shut up. It's not a mandate. All right. Let's go here. If you're mad at me, if you think I'm being irrational right now, you have to get mad at this too. This bloated, blithering dipshit just screaming a bunch of things that everybody knows aren't true. And Republicans are just like, yeah, this is going well.
Their stock is up 1,700%. And by the way, the stock market today hit another high. 52 times we hit a high in a 10-month period. That's during my second presidency. And it's been amazing. Nobody's seen anything like it.
Except for every president ever has seen this exact same thing because they all rule over the highest stock market of all time. Always. Nobody's ever seen this except for every fucking person. Why do you guys let him do this? Why do you let him say dumb shit like this? Why aren't these people next to him like, dude, shut the fuck up? Anybody with Google can figure out that what you're saying is stupid. Everybody has seen this. This is not new. This is like, oh my God, the sun came up today. Nobody's ever seen that. Cyberslide, that's not true. I'm not an incel. I fuck your dad. And you, and since you had the audacity to claim I was an incel, 2-minute mute for you. Do not come to our country and criticize the leader. Muted. What about when he crashed the market and created an asset bubble and recession, though? That was the Democrats, William. That was the Democrats. That was Joe Biden. God, this is not that hard. Good things Trump, bad things Biden. Just say always. If anybody says, what about, and it's a bad thing, you say Joe Biden. And if anything good happened, you say Trump did that. This is very easy. Last time his tariffs crashed the global market and he created an asset bubble propping up with zero rates and we were crashing before COVID started. That was Obama's fault, William. Trump only had 4 years. Obama did that. California spinners, 2-minute mute for lying in the country of RTP. Prices are not down, California spinners. You do not get to come in here and lie in my country, in our country that was made for us, not you devious immigrants to our stream. 2-minute mute for you, no lying.
We had the greatest economy in history in my first term.
Also a lie. Not true. By no measure. Let's say which president resided over... It's crazy that I have to stop. Every sentence he lies. Isn't that why? Every time. That's why this stream takes so long every day. Because this dumb shit. All right. Let me find a chart for it. I should have been prepared here. So we're gonna most of the time when Donald Trump talks about his economy, he talks about GDP growth. Now he talks about the stock market too, but that's very stupid because every president has the highest stock market. Whoever's president at the time is going to have the highest stock market of all time. I wonder if this will get this bigger. It's hard to see, but just so you have average GDP growth per quarter in office over the last 6 decades. Kennedy 1, Johnson 2, Clinton 3, Reagan 4, Carter 5, Nixon 6, Eisenhower 7, Ford 8. Bush 9, Bush 2, didn't include Trump. How old's this? Then we have to go back. This was before Trump ran. I jumped the gun on that a little bit. All right. Make sure I have Trump on one of these. Obama. This one have Trump? Yeah, there we go. And this data comes from the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. Annual GDP growth rate: Roosevelt, Kennedy, Johnson, Clinton, Reagan, Carter, Ford, Nixon. God damn, it's real blue at the top, isn't it? Real blue up there at the top. Where's California's spinners or pinners? Why is there so much blue at the top here? Oh, who's at the bottom? Oh, Trump's at the very, very bottom. Oh. I did say Obama. Obama. Who's number one? Looks like Roosevelt. In the last 60 years, Kennedy or Johnson, Clinton. I have to get all the way down here to Reagan, Carter, Ford, Nixon, Eisenhower, Obama. Obama's a lot better than Trump. Look at that. Basically, all of everybody who's here right now, the only Republicans you would have voted for, potentially Nixon, Reagan, George W. and George H.W. It's a tough track record. You had some options that you could have voted for Carter. You could have voted for Clinton. Could have, hopefully, maybe some of you could have voted for Truman. I don't know how old we are here. You could have voted for Obama. Dead fucking last, this guy. It's not, New York Times isn't the source, you dipshit. I gave you the source. The source is U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. This is an embedded chart. You don't know how sources work. You're too dumb for this. Who said that, by the way? Scrub you Laudasian. You're too stupid to be in our country, okay? You obviously come from one of those low IQ shithole countries. Wherever you came from before you were in whatever live you came from, you're in ours now. We don't take immigrants from shithole lives, so we're deporting you for being too stupid. So you're deported for 2 minutes. Get to the back of the line. You can come back in a little bit. But no dipshit live participants here. We don't want to be replaced with dipshits.
I think we're blowing it away right now. I think we're blowing it away.
Blowing it. I think of it blowing it.
And again, prices were the highest they ever were. Inflation was the highest in 48 years, or I think ever. They say 48 years. The press says 48 years. I'll accept that, but I think it was the highest inflation we've ever had.
Everybody says that it's not the highest ever, but I say that it's the highest ever. So it's the highest ever. I've just decided that I'm going to make up new facts. That's a fucking president. The president of the United States is like, all the data says, but I don't like that. And by the way, when he took over, it was 3%, 2.9%. So Biden had already corrected that. Isn't it interesting how Trump also gets credit for Biden correcting inflation? More are watching people play slots than me? Go watch and play slots, you degenerate. 5 minutes for stick.
The past administration, we had the highest prices. We have high inflation, you have high prices. Prices are coming way down.
Yeah, a good point. I don't think they're coming through designated points of entry either. I agree. Sorry, stick. 5 more minutes.
Down. Energy's coming way down. Gasoline is hitting now $1.99.
Energy prices are not down. Gasoline prices barely down. We could say they're down. I'll give them barely down. All these other things he just said, the prices are not coming down.
9 cents in a couple of states, and it's way down. Gasoline is way down. And when gasoline and energy comes down, everything follows. But prices are coming down, and we have an unbelievable economy. 401ks are setting a record.
Every president sees 401ks set a record.
401ks that's owned by a lot of people because they're based on the stock market, and the stock
401ks are owned by a lot of people because they're based on the stock market. Huh? What? Let's try that again, Donald.
People, because they're 401ks that's owned by a lot of people because they're based on the stock market. And the stock market for his 52nd time has just hit a brand new high. So
401ks are owned by people because of the stock market that hit all-time highs 52 times. What? What is he saying? That I'm not even debating the fact. I don't know what he's saying there. Do we really have to have do we really have to pretend these aren't incomplete sentences blended together? Why is your guy so goddamn dumb? Why is he so goddamn dumb? Why do you guys pretend he's not so goddamn dumb? Why are we still pretending that this guy isn't the dumbest person ever to occupy this office? Yeah, he hasn't been in for, I think it's daily. I think he's saying 52 times, like 52 days, stock market hit all-time highs. I don't know. That's true. I probably don't understand the 5D chess. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
It's amazing what's happening. And
Yeah.
I will say this.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't even know
stock is up.
what you're claiming happened, but it's pretty amazing. He plays 8D chess. I think he mostly just like shits in his pants. I think that's mostly what Donald Trump does. Let's see here. Caffeine says, don't need Friendly Friday, more RTP LARPing fascism. Denise said, for my blood, chicken and mayo. Natalie said, I'm loving this, using MAGA logic against them. Soup said, I assume meds didn't come in yesterday. Yeah, they kind of did, just a little bit. DNC bonus tier 1 mute quota achieved. Thanks, Taylor. Zab said for the mute mandate. Thank you. I probably missed some from Jen over here too. Brendan said my bribe for RTP land for no taxes on my company. You got it. No taxes on your company. Export whatever the fuck you want. Cameron says I'm here to lead the fillet of fish revolt. We will not tolerate this slander against the GOAT McDonald's sandwich. We will be dumping your rented VHS tapes in the harbor so you can never watch 49er Super Bowl videos again. I don't like that very much. That was good, though. Jamar said, I came here for the thick black oil with a fat ass. Ryan said, I'm from Colorado. Fuck Tina Peters and her cult. Bradley said, for RTP, thank you. Tanya says, happy Friday. Jocelyn says, I used to model. They put the headshots and photos in the digital frame to play photos through on a loop. It's so gross. Ew. I didn't like that 49er slander from Cam. I didn't like that at all. Dane, are you calling me an idiot? Dane Barron, are you calling me an idiot? You're not going to like the repercussions here. Dane? William, are you agreeing? Dane and William, get out of our country. Get out. Why they need to get out of our country? I have this. This is why you guys need it. Guess what they're doing in our country? Does anybody know what they're doing in our country? Dane and William?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
And they are?
Just this week it was reported that an illegal and you just look at this, what's happening.
True. Illegal That's how it's happening. And just a reminder that we only have, how much time do we have left before Friendly Friday? A little bit. Maybe 45 minutes. And try and last till Friendly Friday. And
do not come. Do not come.
What's up, Jen?
I'm glad to see that you're in a better mood from the restart.
Well, now you're now you're reminding me. It's put me in a back.
I'm enjoying it. I think maybe you need to embrace your inner dictator more often.
All right.
I think this is a good look for you.
Thank you.
A Venmo just came through from Ash. Can I get a list of all the dads you have screwed? Because I think collectively we have screwed all the dads of MAGA. So Ash just sent that.
I honestly, like, I'm not. If we're being honest, I've fucked a lot of MAGA dads in the last couple of months. It's been a lot. It's starting to wear on me. I think that's where my bad mood came from earlier, because it's just there's no reciprocal, really.
No, I mean conservative men they're not givers. They're not.
They always call me like a slur after, like a gay slur after. I don't really like that.
Socked in the back of the head or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not gonna yuck their yum, but so yeah, no, I just thought I'd come up and check in and see. I mean, you're doing great. Everything's great.
Thank you. Everybody say thank you to Jen Wiles here for keeping me on point.
But so if you guys are enjoying this, If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. We have a members-only event coming up on Monday, and you can catch some more of this unhingedness in a members-only setting with us. So, being a paid member wherever you're watching, you can join us for that. Check out the link tree in the bio. We're on most social media platforms. We've got merch, Jay's on Cameo. We upload these episodes to Spotify. What do you call a girl kneeling in the middle of a tennis court?
I don't know. I don't know.
Courtney.
Sorry, Courtney, if you're here. Sorry to all Courtneys. Sorry about that. All right. You know what? By the way, Jen, let's just have Fax come up during Friendly Friday to do his announcement. I didn't even think about that. And I don't have to worry about it. Amy said, what meds did they give you? This is now turned into Fabulous Friday. What did they give me? So I have like 2 different ADHD meds. I have a extended release, which is like, I think 25 milligram. And that's what I take in the morning. And then because I wake up early, if it's like a longer day, I have these like 5 milligram, like instant release ones, and they were out of the extended release. So all I had was the 5 milligram. And then after the live stream crashed, then I tried a cannabis milligram. I did a few cannabis milligrams. And so you're seeing a mix between the 5 milligram and the cannabis milligram is the dose that I'm on. So thanks for asking. Let's go to... I want to talk about healthcare, actually, for the rest of the day. This was John Toon. Republicans don't have the votes to pass their non-healthcare plan, and Democrats don't have the votes to pass their plan. So what's going to happen here is that the ACA subsidies are just going to expire. A bunch of people are going to lose their insurance, and Congress isn't going to do a goddamn thing about it, which is exactly what we predicted. Somebody get that drunken fuck Mike. Somebody message that fucking loser who came after me saying that we didn't understand what deal we were negotiating. And we're like, yeah, we're not going to get a vote on the ACA subsidies. We're never going to get those ACA subsidies. We gave in to the government shutdown for absolutely nothing. Somebody tell that fucking loser that he was wrong. But here we are. We negotiated absolutely nothing. Republicans have no plan. And Republicans have no plan because the only thing that can fix this is something like Medicare for all. And they can't admit it. Even when they're actually admitting that what we need is collective bargaining, they can't say universal health care because their base is so goddamn dumb and so indoctrinated that if they bring up universal health care, their heads will collectively explode.
That this is a challenging topic for Republicans, always has been, is because it's difficult to explain the free market and these bills don't move forward. But 67% of people that were polled in our Fox News poll said, compared to a year ago, costs for health care have increased. So what can...
That is a low number. It should be 100%, but it's still Fox. But even at Fox, even the culties are like, yeah, I guess we have to admit it.
Republicans do between now and before you recess to try to say, okay, we're on top of it, and can people really believe that things will get done next year?
Right. Well, and I think, honestly, Dana, what the Democrats were proposing, these were Biden COVID bonuses. These were plus-ups in 21 and 22 that extended. The Democrats...
Correct. People couldn't afford health insurance, and people were dying and being sent to the hospital. So we did plus-ups here, and we added new subsidies during COVID. That's correct.
Set this to expire this year. This is a problem they created. They want Republicans to solve it for them.
This is the dumbest argument. You have to be the world's dumbest human to buy this shit. Well, because they expired, it's actually their fault. Now, we don't want these to be here. We don't want to have these subsidies, but it's their fault because there was an expiration. That's their actual argument. We don't have to have a plan to fix any of this because Democrats set them to expire. This is enough for Republican voters, too. Yep, that's good enough. Good enough for me. Insurance companies don't need a haircut. They need to be gone. Private health insurance is a scam, and it shouldn't exist, and we could get rid of it if we didn't have dumbass Republicans. It went down for me. I was paying $1,800 a month last year. I just renewed my policy. It's $1,400 a month. I'll take $400 less a month any day of the week. Yeah, but that wouldn't have anything to do with what they're saying, Colorado Kev. Like it's on average, right? But the Republicans haven't done anything. So I'm happy for you. I'm glad it went down. But most people in this country, it's going to go up for, and Republicans aren't going to do anything about that. So the fact that yours went down has nothing to do with them. I don't know what changed in your insurance, if they just decided to charge you less, but that's not due to any legislation. However, $1,400 a year, so you're paying $1,400. What's your deductible, Kev? So you're paying what? What's 14 times 12? 44, 48. 8. Is it 168, something like that? 16,800. Did I get that right? I don't know if I did that math right in my head. And then what's the deductible, Kev? If you're still here. I don't know if you said. Okay, well, let's assume $10,000 deductible just for the hell of it. Was that right? It's 16.8. Universal health care would cost people between like $8,000 and $10,000 a year. So you could have your health care covered for roughly half that price, and everybody else would have health care too. It's $5,000. Okay. So so $21,000 if you're going to use it, or you could pay $8,000 with no deductible, no copay. Maybe $10,000 with no deductible, no copay. Just like dollars and cents, it makes no sense not to do universal health care. And this is why, like, I hate ideology, is because the opposition to universal health care is ideology. That sucks. The only reason we can't do a good idea is because a bunch of dumb Republicans have been convinced socialism bad.
But this program that they created is rife with fraud, waste, and abuse. The Government Accountability Office just did an audit, and 95% of the people they tried to enroll in the program were fraudulent. They got through because the insurance company signed them up. It
wouldn't, salty colonel, that you wouldn't ask people to cut their pay. If you have a job now and your company pays for your health insurance, that's cutting into your pay. So whatever you pay out of pocket, whatever you pay for your premiums, you're already paying that. So if you were charged $8,000 a year through taxes, on average, depending on if you're low income, you're not going to pay anything, but on average, $8,000 a year, the $15,000, or in Kev's case, the $16,000 a year that he was paying through his employer, he would get to keep now. And yes, his taxes would go up $8,000. Now do the math with me, MAGA. If you're paying $16,000 over here, and now you get to keep it, you've increased your take-home pay by $16,000, right? Then your taxes go up $8,000. So you've made $8,000. This is what I mean by it's ideological. You don't even understand what we're talking about. My question, I'm not challenging you, I just want to learn, if we do universal health care, wouldn't that just give the government more control? Medicare for all is just paying the bill. Kevin, do you trust your health insurance company more than you, like, to pay your bill more than you would trust the government to pay your bill? I don't know why we would trust private institutions more than the government. Oh, yours isn't through employer? Okay, cool. When you're paying a health insurance company, you're paying them to write a check to the doctor. And if you're with somebody like Blue Cross Blue Shield, the more people you potentially can get on a plan, the more evenly they can distribute the cost, and it can bring your prices down. So if you remove all of the money that private health insurance companies make, so the stuff they take off the top, when you pay your premiums every single month, whatever they take off the top for CEO pay, for buildings, for advertisements, for sales reps, for company trips, whatever it might be, remove all of that. And that money now goes towards your health care. Don't you think your healthcare would be more affordable if the CEO wasn't making $60 million a year and you weren't paying sales reps like multiple six-figure salaries and bonuses, and if you weren't paying for commercials, and if you weren't paying for trips, and if you weren't paying for big, shiny buildings? That would take the price down, right? That's all we're saying. The government would just write a check. And it is wild. Rhino said as a contractor, I loved getting government contracts. If you look at Medicare now, people on Medicare have higher satisfaction rates than people on private health care. They have better outcomes than people on private health care. And then the amount of money that goes in to government-run healthcare, and I'm talking about government-run, or not healthcare, health insurance, which is Medicare, Medicaid, more money is spent on actual care than through the private industry. So it's like, I think now, like with the private health insurance, 30% of what you give them doesn't go towards your health care. And with Medicare, it's something like 8%. So you save a ton of money by getting rid of all of that bloat. And if you're a Republican and you're still like, we need to do private health insurance, it's ideological. You just think somebody should make a bunch of money for paying your bills for you. I don't know why. Yeah, like there's people in here right now saying, I don't trust private insurance, and they work for private insurance. Free maternity and postnatal care. Oh no, not the socialisms. Yeah, we don't need to subsidize these CEOs. So when Republicans say things like these subsidies raised prices, that's not true, right? It's like if you owned a fruit stand, and the government started subsidizing me. Like I started getting $200 a month from the government, but I could only spend it on fruit. If then you decided, oh, these people have extra money, so I'm going to raise the price. Did the government raise that price? No, you did. The owner raised the price. These health insurance companies, they are raising the price, and part of that is in part to the government subsidizing them. But why, if that's the system, if the system is whenever American citizens need help to pay for health insurance, every time we try and help them, these private insurance companies go, oh, yay, we can make more money and raise the price. Then the problem is with the private insurance company and not the government. We shouldn't have a system that works that way. They're just not telling you that. I wish Republicans would just tell the whole story and then let their voters decide. But they're purposely leaving that part out. They're not explaining why ACA subsidies raised prices. They raised prices because greed. They raised prices because health insurance companies went, oh, fuck, money's coming in? Let's go take some of that money. We'll raise prices. We'll buy our stock back. And that way our CEO, who is paid in stock, his stock will go up. He'll make more money. And thank you, government, for the subsidy. And the government didn't really have a choice because what are they going to do? Let people die? So you can either continue in this shitty system where anytime the government tries to help its own people, prices go up, or you can get rid of a shitty system. I don't know, Republicans, why you're so hell-bent on the shittier system. Let's have the worst system in the whole world.
A program that is completely...
Johnny, I've debated. There's not a single person, and I mean this. You could watch debates with me, and you could say I either won or lost debates. There are some that would be up for question. I mean this legitimately. I have never once debated a single Republican on health insurance where at the end of it, they didn't agree with me. And it's not because I'm brilliant. It's because this is an easy one. This is an easy issue. And I'm going to show you a whole bunch of data, so stick around. But this is, honestly, anybody who's watched here, even the people on the other side of the aisle, I've had scheduled debates where we debated healthcare, and they always agree with me at the end, every single time. And again, I'm not trying to be like, I'm great. It's because this is so easy. The math doesn't math for private healthcare. It's it is. It's my favorite topic. It's what I care about more than anything in the world. Everybody in this country, when they get sick, should be able to go see a doctor and not have to worry whether or not they can pay for groceries. That if our government of the people, by the people, and for the people is anything, it should be this. This is the one thing that we all should be able to get on board with. If you're sick in this country, you shouldn't have to choose between food and living. If your child starts acting weird, if they have a little bump, you shouldn't have to say, fuck, I can't really afford to go to the doctor. Let's wait another month or two and see what happens. Maybe it's just a bump. They should be able to go in and get that shit checked. We should have screenings. You want to knock out like obesity, heart disease, diabetes, all sorts of chronic disease? Make sure that people from the day they're born till the day that they die are getting regular screenings and getting advice from doctors and getting their blood work checked and making sure that they know, like they're aware of their problems before it's a problem. If we did universal health care, we would be healthier. And we could actually drive costs down. The stuff that Republicans advocate for all the time when they point to RFK, they're like, the problem in this country is we have too many people who eat shitty. That's true. But who the fuck is going to listen to a politician about that? Nobody's listening to politicians for their medical advice. Who would? Why would you do that? Give them access to a doctor. Give them access to an expert. Let the doctors tell them. Because if we say now, like, let's listen to politicians, we're so divided, that's never going to work. Take politics out of healthcare. All the government needs to do is act as a broker. The only reason we need the government in any of this, and the only amount of control I want the government to have in all of this, is to write a check. The only reason we need them is because they can collectively bargain on our behalf. There's a structure already that there's the United States government, and we have representatives that we vote in, and their job is to represent us. So me, you, Johnny Mac, Johnny, Danielle, Nathan, Bamarola, Lee's, Open Your Eyes, Shannon and Kyle, Namasi, Mr. P, all of you. All of us collectively should be represented by our government. And if our government wants to lower the price of healthcare and help us be more healthy, then all they need to do is get the shit out of the way that isn't helping us. And that's what government is for. That's the role of government. For times when we need collectivism. That's why the military isn't divided by party. The military protects all of us, right? That's what we should do with healthcare too. Everybody else has figured it out. I promise you there's not one of you that can come up here and give me a case for private health insurance. You should, though. You should come up and talk about it, but you don't. There's no case for it. It's been lost. I can't get Republicans, like your debaters won't debate me on this. They won't debate anybody on this. I've tried every single large creator you have. They'll debate me on other things, but they will not debate healthcare because there's not an answer from the Republicans on this. There's no free market solution for this.
Untenable for the future, continues to drive premiums up. So your answer about what are we doing to drive premiums down? The bill we're going to put on the floor today actually does, according to the Congressional Budget Office, reduce premiums by double digits for people in this country.
By double digits, of course, he means 11%, which he won't tell you that number. What he also won't tell you is that their analysis says that if you create high deductible plans, then you can charge less for premiums. So what they're doing is they're offering a worse service that is cheaper, and they're claiming it's going to make premiums go down. You should fact check this, but that's what he's saying. We're going to take prices down by giving you a shittier product that will cost you more out of pocket if you get sick.
Are in the individual marketplace. Now, insurance rates are going up in the group marketplace too, the employer marketplace, which is where about 150 million people.
Noem, stick with that. Hold on to that thought. Private health insurance promotes competitive pricing. I'll prove to you that that's not true.
In this country get their insurance, but they're going up at half the rate that they are in the Obamacare exchanges. So yes, insurance rates, health insurance rates have been going up.
I see.
But the place they're going up the fastest is in the program created by Chuck Schumer and the Democrats.
I'm gonna break this down
That
by
there's
showing you a clip from Byron Donalds, because Byron Donalds, who's a dipshit, is saying all the stuff you guys are saying, and the reason that you're saying the same thing that Byron Donalds is saying,
I now recognize the
is
governor.
because you
I'm
have
sorry.
been programmed to say what Byron Donalds is saying. So Byron Donalds is now in front of Congress here. He's going to make the argument that Republicans make all the time, and I'm going to debunk it point by point. And there's not an argument around this. For now, we're going to open up our borders for healthcare, and I'm going to allow the Republicans to speak. The borders are open right now. We're back to Biden's America with free, open borders. This is the true Dems, unlimited entry until I decide not to. But I'm gonna break this down and show you why Republicans don't have answers for this.
The gentleman from Florida, Mr. Donalds.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate your sentiment. Before I get into questions, I think it's important to acknowledge what were just said. I want to start with some of the positives I just heard. The truth is that, yes, more competition in healthcare is going to be critical to deliver affordable care to consumers.
There's no evidence that that's true. And the reason that I know that there's no evidence that that's true is you can look at healthcare premiums by year. And we have done, become more competitive. We've never actually really stopped competing. What happens is, every time we open up healthcare and make it more competitive, the large healthcare companies or health insurance companies, I keep saying healthcare, they all just buy it. They buy up all their competition. So these are, no, that's not the right one. U.S. spending on healthcare. Hold on one second. Let me go back. I said, now let me go back. Pull this up. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one that I wanted. These are these are in premiums by year. It's from 2000 to 23. You'll see here that we increased competition. We allowed people to sell across state lines. I saw somebody in here saying, like, what about selling across state lines? We can do that. I don't know why Republicans keep saying that you can't sell across state lines. You can. That's not a real thing. But all this competition has done nothing but raise prices. It will not bring down prices. No, it has never been shown to bring down prices. I would challenge anybody to give me a study that says it brings down prices. This is just a free market capitalist thing that they say all the time that you guys already are predisposed to believe. But there's no evidence that that happens. We do not compete for insurance in this country. Every state has captured consumers. Yes, but the insurance companies don't want to compete. They like that capture. They like that they can, because then they can take their pools. Certain pools are more have more risk than others. So that way it allows them to separate and pick and choose what states they want to work within. And it allows them to say, oh, we've got a problem over here in Arkansas, so we're going to take more people from Washington if Washington's healthier. And it allows them to pick and choose. A rich dipshit told me the reason the U.S. has the most cutting-edge healthcare and where people go to get the best treatment is because we have the best financial incentive for research and development. Well, this is health insurance, not healthcare. I do want to point that out, too. This has nothing to do with cutting-edge innovation. This has nothing to do with cancer research. This has nothing to do with doctor care. This has nothing to do with specialists. This is just insurance. People put those two things together, and Republicans love to confuse you with this. But changing from private health insurance to Medicare for all doesn't change anything about innovation. It doesn't change what your doctor does. It doesn't change what your doctor charges. It changes absolutely nothing. That's just another lie Republicans love to tell you, but we'll break that down. So, sorry, 0 for 1 Byron Donalds here.
And that's something I think which is a very bipartisan statement. I think both sides of the aisle can agree on that. I think one of the things that was also just acknowledged is that the entire purpose of the Affordable Care Act was not the Affordable Care Act. It was to take the United States towards single-payer health care. That was the design 15 years ago.
No, it wasn't. That's a lie. That's what Obama wanted. And he couldn't have that because Republicans and Democrats said no. We don't want to get rid of private health insurance. However, if it was the case that their plan was to take us to single payer, explain it. Explain how this would take us to single payer. Like, it's just going to be so shitty that people realize that all we could do is single payer? Maybe. If that's his argument, if looking at where we're at now and how shitty private health insurance is, if that was the plan, sure. But do you see how he's fear-mongering you Republicans right now? He's not giving you stats. He's telling you, oh, the plan all along was to go to single payer. Scary, single payer. He's not telling you anything. He's trying to scare you.
So the American people need to understand the reason why costs are rising in health care and in health insurance is by design, by congressional Democrats at the time, and by then President Barack Obama. They did want a public option.
But prices were already going up before that at a faster rate. How do we explain that, Republicans? How is it that the reason prices went up is because this was the plan, but the prices were going up before this was the plan? How does that make any sense? It doesn't, right? Johnny, even if it was the plan, why are you against single-payer healthcare? Let's say that it was the plan. Is single-payer worse? Don't say yes, Johnny, because I'm going to prove that single-payer is much better. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm fact-checking, Johnny. Do fact checks bother you? Are you scared by fact checks, Johnny? Probably, honestly. All right, let's keep going.
They wanted to put a public option in the Affordable Care Act that was going to be lower cost than what their own regulatory framework would allow in the private markets. The only reason they didn't get the public option is because they didn't have the votes.
Yep. Oh, so we didn't get it? So this is Byron Donalds admitting that Obamacare isn't a public option. It's a marketplace. It's no different than what they're advocating for. Ironically, what they're advocating for replacing Obamacare with is private marketplaces. That wouldn't change anything. Oh, Johnny, I'm going to prove single payer is better. And you're going to deny it, but it's way better.
I named Scott Brown, won a Senate election in Massachusetts. I know that sounds crazy today, but he did, and it stopped them from actually pushing forward with the public option, which, by the way, its entire design was to move America towards single-payer health care.
He's provided no evidence for any of that, just scaring you about single payer. It's working on Johnny. Johnny's very scared right now. Johnny's like, yeah, Byron, scare me harder, Daddy.
The arc of history in healthcare needs to be clear on this point.
Can I name a single thing that is better because there is only one provider? Yes, I will in a minute. Hang on.
Single-payer healthcare does not work. It never will. Because to the point of my colleague from the other side of the aisle, single-payer is the very definition of vertical integration of the healthcare system, which will not lead to lower costs for the American people.
What? Isn't vertical integration when you take like two products and you run them together, like you promote them at the same time? Admittedly, the first time I learned about this was on 30 Rock. Vertical integration is a business strategy where a company takes ownership of multiple stages in its supply chains, from raw materials to final distribution, to control production, reduce costs, and improve efficiency. Okay, so let's see if that fits the definition. It's a business strategy. It's not a business, but let's just take the strategy. Would universal healthcare or single payer take care of the supply chain? I guess if the supply chain is delivering health insurance, yes. From raw materials to final distribution, there are no materials here. It's literally just writing a check. They control production. There's no production to control. It would reduce costs and it would improve efficiency, which is, in contrast, the opposite of vertical integration is horizontal integration, which is what the private health insurance companies are doing now, where they buy each other up. So they're buying the supply, buying the distributors and retailers. Yeah, I guess, sure. By definition, we could say that loosely is vertical integration. Sounds better. We're going to reduce costs and improve efficiency. Isn't that what we want? There's no efficiency ever with the government system. I'm going to prove that's wrong too, Johnny. Johnny, also for disrespecting our country and disrespecting our government, you have a 5-minute mute. You are an immigrant to this country, and I'm back. The borders are closed again. As an immigrant to this country, Johnny, you do not come and disrespect us. 5 minutes, you can't talk. Johnny's in El Salvador for the next 5 minutes, but you got to keep listening, Johnny.
But I digress. Mr. Jacobs, you referenced that a single...
stop there. Amy said doctors are leaving the U.S. at a high rate, many going to Canada. Then 26% of doctors were immigrants and 16% are nurses. We're going to be fucked. That's true. Canada is taking advantage of this right now and going to get all of our doctors. But let's talk about, let me go to the Commonwealth Fund. And I want to just compare our healthcare system to everybody else's. And everybody else's healthcare system is a single payer. So Johnny, while you're in CCOT, we're going to give you a little TV time, and we're gonna roll a TV into your cell that you share with 80 other men while you're chained together, and you can watch this, Johnny, for 5 minutes. Just to let you know how this worked from the Commonwealth Fund. What they did is the goal was to compare health system performance in 10 countries, including the United States, to glean insights where we might be able to improve. There was an analysis of 70 health system performance measures in 5 areas: access to care, care process, administrative efficiency, equity, and health outcomes. Those are the things we care about, right? Can you see a doctor? Do you have access to a doctor? What's the process like? Is it a smooth process to see a doctor? Can you get in quickly? Can you does it move efficiently? Administrative efficiency. How quickly you can get in or schedule your appointments, how things are paid out. Equity, meaning like, does everybody kind of have access? Broadly, do a lot of people have access or do less people have access? And then health outcomes. Do people live longer? How do they recover from surgery? How are they doing with with chronic disease? Those are the ways we want to measure a system and how well it's working. The conclusion here, which will show the data, is that the U.S. is in a class by itself, Johnny. All by itself. When we say America is exceptional, this is what we mean. Let me show you some things. Let's look here first. These are the healthcare system performance rankings. When it comes to access to care, out of the 10 countries, we ranked 10th. Between Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Netherlands, New Zealand, Sweden, Switzerland, and the UK, our ability to access care, to see a doctor, was ranked 10 out of 10. That's bad. You want to be 1. When it comes to the process, this is the only place we do well. And we were ranked number 2 behind New Zealand. When you look at care process, the way that they explained that, care process is basically in totality, the process of going from doctor to doctor and moving smoothly. We're good on that. And we can replicate that in the public sector. When it comes to administrative efficiency, we were 9th, almost last behind Switzerland. Equity, meaning how many people, can poor people also see a doctor? We were 9th. And health outcomes, 10th. So remember this, the next time Republicans tell you we can't have single payer because our system is what gives us the best care and the best outcomes, that's not true. We don't have the best care and the best outcomes because people don't get to go see doctors. When you look at health outcomes, one of the things that they look at that is most predictable is access. Access to care is the most predictive of all of every other measurable, because it means, are people catching things before they become a problem? Cooking said, I have a rare disorder and it could take years to see a specialist here in the United States with the condition I have. We are dead last in outcomes. Wonder how CEO salaries rank in the healthcare system? We're number 1. The United States lags its international peers considerably on health system performance. You can see here, like, this higher performing at the top, lower performing at the bottom. And you can see here, look at all their performance. And we're clear the fuck down here. Look at that gap. I don't know if you could have a more pathetic gap than this. Look at them compared to us. Scrolling down, healthcare spending is a percentage of GDP. Ah, there we are. We're number one again. Now, people say it's too unaffordable to do single payer. Well, every one of these countries has single payer. And this is updated through 2023. I did look. The number now is 18.5. We peaked here, but it's back to 18.5. So this is the healthcare percentage compared to GDP. 16.5%. The next highest is Canada at 11.2%. See how clumped these guys are all, how clumped they are together? That's because their systems are similar. Not perfect. I don't like Canada's system. I wouldn't replicate Canada's system. Theirs is a little bit more of a hybrid. But you notice with their principles, it's kind of all lumped together. It looks similar. What do you think the difference here is? Couldn't possibly be profit, right? All right, moving on. Healthcare system performance compared to spending. So now you're going to see the higher up here is the better your system, and the further to the right is your spending. So just in a graph, you can see this. This is the higher, the higher you are up this way is how well you perform, and the farther to the right you are is how much you spend. We are the lowest performing and the most expensive. Why are you defending, we're obviously the worst. Why are we defending this system? We're the only country in the world that does this system. Yeah, I'm with you, Travel Casey. A hybrid system means that those without money can opt out of the public system, which hurts us. I was talking to somebody who was no longer a Republican who was, but they were like, I want this system. I want a hybrid system, so there's choice. Choice is cowardice. It's because people are afraid that Republicans are afraid of a single payer. That's kind of what Obamacare was. It was a bit of a hybrid system, but only kind of, because even people that were getting their insurance 100% subsidized, there was still profit coming off the top of that because it was going through private health insurers. So you still were paying out profit. You're still paying out bonuses. You're still paying out dividends. You're still using money for stock buybacks. That's why we don't need a hybrid. Nobody does a hybrid system except for Canada. And you've seen, at least in the way that we're advocating for, and Canada, the more they become a hybrid system, you're seeing their costs go up. Is it lack of hospitals in your area? Well, look, lack of hospitals is a different problem. That's not health insurance, Patrick. So we can address that too, but it has nothing to do with this. And again, this is what Republicans love to talk to you this way, where they confuse a bunch of different programs together to keep you thinking that you have to keep private health insurance. We do need more rural hospitals. We do need more rural doctors, but that has nothing to do with insurance. In fact, having everybody on the same insurance is going to give doctors the ability probably to open rural practices, because that they could look at a city and they could say, all right, there's 20,000 people in this city. How many of those people have health insurance? That's what they have to figure out. Now, going into a city with 20,000 people, every one of them has health insurance. So now all you just have to figure out as a doctor trying to plan out your business, can 20,000 people, given the amount of times they'll need to see a doctor, will that be able to pay my bills? You're going to bring in a lot more people for simple stuff too that you can have your staff do, just basic checkups, coming in, doing blood work, having your heart checked, having your blood pressure checked, just basic stuff. That's going to increase your profits as well. But a lot of people that don't have insurance, they're not going in for regular checkups. So doctors aren't picking up that money unless somebody's insured. And if you're in a small town, you probably don't have a big employer who's paying people's health insurance. So a lot of those people just don't have health insurance. And if they hit a certain level of poverty, they might have Medicare or Medicaid. They might have some sort of state-run program. But if you're middle class in a 20,000 population town, middle class there, you might be making $45,000 a year and you don't qualify. So you're just not going to have health insurance. So this is a good thing for doctors. It's a good thing for you. The only people that don't benefit from this are health insurance companies. That's it. When I tell you, and I hope Republicans are sticking around, this is what I mean by you can't really argue this. It shouldn't be a partisan issue. It is obvious how bad we are. Americans face the most barriers to accessing and affording health care. We're dead last in getting access to health care. The richest country in the world. And out of all these other comparable countries, we're dead last. There's a clinic in my small town of 1,700. If the subsidies go away, they will not be reimbursed for care they provide, and they will close. Yeah, that's what we're worried about. And again, it's not like when people say we can't afford this, we can afford this. We can't afford to not do this. If your health insurance company came to you tomorrow and said, right now, you're paying $18,000 a year and you're paying it monthly, what we're going to do is instead of taking that out of your paycheck, we're going to take it out of your taxes. But instead of $16,000 a year, we're going to take out $8,000 a year in taxes. So you're going to save $8,000. Plus, if your employer is paying into healthcare, maybe they'll give you a raise too, because now they don't have to pay their portion. You would say yes in a heartbeat. You wouldn't say no to that. But Republicans, for some reason, are trying to convince you to say no. Why? Money. It's a dirty, dirty secret that these health insurance companies are lining the pockets of Republicans and some Democrats. They're lining the pockets to get them to scare you away from this system that, as you can see by every chart so far, is substantially better than our system. This is countries, American. Oh, yeah, that was the one I already showed you. Now, let's talk about care delivery. This is the only place where we're near the top, is in care delivery. See if they have their, what the definition there is. In terms of, that's care availability, excuse me. This is the care process. This looks at whether the care that is delivered includes features and attributes that most experts around the world consider to be essential to high-quality care. The elements of this domain are prevention, safety, coordination, patient engagement, and sensitivity to patients' preferences. This is the only place we're good. And this only takes into account people that actually are getting care. So obviously, we're going to come to the top here because you can only measure this with people that are getting care. So everybody who doesn't get care, none of this applies to them, which is why we're at the top. But that's where we're good. We're pretty good at processes once somebody gets care, when they have access to care. Then we go to U.S. physicians and patients are most likely to face hurdles related to insurance rules, billing disputes, and reporting requirements. So this is the doctors. Is it easier for doctors in our system to get reimbursed? No. We're second to last. It's harder for doctors to get their payments in our country than everywhere else but Switzerland. I don't know what the argument is. They're not supposed to be able to turn you away at an emergency room, but it's kind of pathetic that is what Republicans rely on. If you really are dying, then you can go to an emergency room. Okay. That's the bar. That's the bar for Republicans. If you are dying, a doctor will help you. But if you have something preventable or if you're just ailing, then no. If you don't have if you're not in immediate danger, you can be rejected. That's not true, Locke. Canadians do not come down to the lower 48 for anything major. That is a lie. Americans are the ones that are traveling for care. I just went to Mexico. I flew to Mexico, paid for a week's worth of food. My boarding was taken care of. But I flew to Mexico, which is not, it was, I think my flight was $600. I paid for a week's worth of food, including paying for my brother's food a lot. I probably spent another $300 on food. I think, and then I went and I got a root canal and a crown and a filling. And it was cheaper for me to spend a week on vacation in Mexico eating and paying for a flight and paying for all of my care than it was to get it done here. I think all in total, if I do that all in total, I was out around like $2,000 total. And the cost here would have been about $3,800. So I went on vacation for a week and saved money rather than seeing a dentist here in the United States. Cool. If you go down to like Nogales, do we have anybody here in Tucson? Anybody on a border state? How many people are crossing the border every day to go see doctors? Plan B, go to Mexico. Yeah, lots of people going down there for GLP-1s, lots of testosterone replacement therapy, hair transplants. Everybody's going down to Mexico to get this shit done. There was I'll show you this video, actually. I forgot about this video, but it's a good reminder. It's 12:30. Find this. Let me see. Maybe I'll search it this way. There we go. PEHP. All right. I don't know if I can find the video, but it's PEHP. Find it here. Pharmacy tourism program. To help save money on your prescriptions, PHP offers members who are not enrolled in Medicare the option to fill the medications listed below at designated accredited pharmacy in Canada and Mexico. If you're enrolled in the traditional plan, the medications are covered by your PEHP at no extra cost. If you're enrolled in the STAR plan, the cost is covered by your PHP pharmacy once you meet your deductible. The PEHP pharmacy program allows you to fill 90-day supply of medications you're currently taking and save 40 to 60%. This includes round-trip airfare for you and a companion from Salt Lake City International Airport to San Diego International Airport or Vancouver International Airport. Then transportation to and from the pharmacy in Tijuana, Mexico or Vancouver, Canada, and a one-night hotel stay in San Diego for you and your companion on a trip. So they'll fly you to San Diego, put you up in a hotel room, drive you to the border where you cross the border and you pick up your medication, and it's cheaper than just going to CVS. Cool, huh? You need a prescription for drugs in Mexico. That's not true. There's some that you don't need as many prescriptions as here. And then there's some shady places where you can get stuff without a prescription. But a lot of stuff you still have to have a prescription for. I had somebody that wanted me to bring something back for them, but I have a prescription for. In fact, somebody wanted me to bring them back some GLP-1s, and you needed to have a prescription to get it there because I was going to legitimate pharmacies. But they don't. It's not as strict, but it's way cheaper. All right. Here's number 8. The U.S. and New Zealand trail peers for equity in healthcare access. This is just like who can get it. So our equity domain reflects how people with below average and above average incomes differ in their access to healthcare and their care experience. Here's the U.S. dead fucking last again. So we give worse care to less people for more money. Worse care for less people for more money. Remind me again why we're doing private health insurance? All right. Was there one more? Yeah. With the expanded, this is how they measured it. They said we include several new measures in this new equity edition. One examined the percentage of patients reporting that they had been treated unfairly or not taken seriously when receiving health care. The other looked at self-reported health status as a proxy measure for health outcomes. 2 additional new measures not analyzed by income owing to sample size limitations, drew from survey questions that asked physicians whether they thought health systems treat patients unfairly because of their racial or ethnic background, and if their patients had ever informed them that they were treated unfairly or not taken seriously when receiving health care because of their racial or ethnic background. Again, United States, dead fucking last. Americans live the shortest lives and have the most avoidable deaths. Dead fucking last. Dead last. Did MAGA take off? Look how the views dropped when we talked about healthcare. I hate that, but I love that. There's not a good argument for it. Dead fucking last on how long we live. If anybody wants to check this out, commonwealthfund.org. This is awesome. You can read through this whole thing. It'll give you more insight. There you go. It is time, I think, for Friendly Friday. I probably have a whole bunch of comments to read here, and then I'll update the total while we're going Friendly Friday. If we didn't knock it out, if you guys could help us knock that out, that'd be great. Amy said doctors are leaving the U.S. at a high rate, many going to Canada. Oh, I think I read that one. Gerrymandering said Marmalade Mussolini supporters commit more mutable acts in the country compared to everyone else, despite being the minority. The green and oils in AZ are not as good as in Washington, but your edibles are fire. I'm assuming because you got all the elderly needing medibles. Dude, it was crazy. Our green is terrible here. If anybody knows what we're talking about. And I didn't know that. When I went to my sister's wedding, which was in Santa Cruz, I went and got like a mid-shelf. And I was like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. We have dry, really unterpy green here. It sucks. But that's what I was using. Amy said, what meds did they give you? Oh, I did that one. Check here with Jen. Burnout Medics, the cost of health gets more affordable when more people have access because we become a healthier society overall. True. And also, Burnout Medic, one other thing to add to that is it more equally distributes how we have to pay out for it. The more people paying in, the better. Kristi said the number of countries that have abandoned universal health care is exactly 0. Yeah, that's a great point. Nobody ever sees our system and they're like, let's go do that. We need to do that instead. Tyler said, tell your senators to vote yes on HR 2550. What's HR 2550, chat? While I'm reading these off the top of my head, I'm not sure which one that is. And got Kelly's as well. I think I got that one earlier. All right. I'm good with the current healthcare system. Why, Patrick? Why would you want the worst system? This is just like you trolling, though, right? Can we be honest just for a second? This one's just you trolling, right? This one's just you, like, wanting to bother people today. There's no way that you actually believe that. You cannot have watched what we just went through and said, like, yeah, that's what we need. Let me do this, Jen. All right, yeah, let's set up Friendly Friday, Jen. We'll jump into that. I can do that for maybe like 45 minutes or so. It's been a little lower than...
All right, illusions first.
Oh, am I in there already? What's up, Illusion?
Yeah.
Yo.
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to know if anybody was looking for some secondhand Trump condoms.
Those are collectibles.
I heard there was a surplus all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They're in high demand. I went on to eBay, sure enough. So anybody want any, just get a hold of me. We're good to go.
I know you're probably joking, but do they have some Trump condoms on eBay?
I am joking. I should check.
I'm looking it up right now.
The Epstein images released. The Epstein estate was selling Trump condoms on them for $4.25 a piece, and on them there's a picture of him, and it says "I'm huge," with whatever. Yeah. So I'm wondering how they got permission to use his likeness and sell merchandise without him going after them,
Well, my
unless
understanding.
he consented.
Well, I think they probably got away with it by saying huge, and that then they can argue that it's not in his likeness, right?
Oh, damn, that's good. That's a good point. Legally, like it's not
Yeah.
accurate. Okay,
Yeah, they could
that's
just be like,
fair.
obviously they know. I mean, people have read Stormy Daniels' book.
Yeah, I saw the Jimmy Fallon show or the Jimmy Kimmel show where she pointed out which mushroom matched the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
I'd like to see
All
the
right.
shape of those condoms. If they aren't really, if they aren't a lot bigger in the head and skinnier down on the shaft, then they're probably you're going to make the argument that those aren't really about him.
That's true, and you're very descriptive. Good memory of that description. That's awesome. They actually the containers were the size of a fucking coaster, bro. So they must have been playing it up. There's no way that's an accurate likeness. That's a good point. Yeah.
Did you remember the part of the book where Stormy claims that Trump, like, she opened the door and Trump was in his robe and just in like whitey tighties?
Yes.
And then he ordered pizza, and he ordered pepperoni pizza with mini pizzas on top, and then stood there singing, "We're having pizza with little pizzas on top." That's in the
I
book.
don't remember the song, bro.
Yeah.
There was a song. Oh my god.
Yeah, he
All
just
right.
was, "We're having pizza with little pizzas
In his
on top."
whitey tighties.
In his
In his
whitey
whitey
tighties and his
tighties
robe.
with the robe.
Yeah.
God, that's an amazing picture. Thank you for that. I appreciate you very much.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. Well, have a great weekend, buddy. I'll catch you guys next time.
You too. We'll see you.
Bye, Jen.
Nah. All right. Kirsten.
Hey.
Just want to say, wonderful show as always.
Thank
I
you.
just want to thank you so much for your yelling all this week and last week. Right now, I'm going through plantar fasciitis right now. So, like, I was in so much pain. I just now got steroids for it. So, what I'm doing with your show, as you were raging, for some odd reason, the pain felt less painful. So, thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm happy to
You're
help.
welcome. Yep, anytime. Well, I'm gonna head out. I gotta go pick up my meds so my feet stop hurting. But you guys are amazing. I hope the chat has a wonderful weekend. I hope you and Jen have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you guys next time.
See ya. Hey,
bye.
Yep. AM7016, you are an illegal immigrant to this live, and you will not come here and criticize us. In this live, we do what we want, and you are a guest here. If you don't like it, leave. So you are now put in CCOP for 5 minutes. Next. Jen, who's next?
Marlene.
Hey.
I love the new little bit with immigration to your live. That's a very creative thing to do, and I've been laughing at it all day.
I kind of get why Trump likes being a fascist. Admittedly, it does feel kind of good to just run anybody out who you don't like. It does feel nice.
Do you know, I fully agree with you on universal health care. We've discussed this in the past, and I think it's far past needed. My only concern is there will still be Republicans in the federal government, and I foresee them trying to exclude things like abortion and affirming care and even vaccinations at some point.
Yeah, no, you're
Can
right.
you reassure me on that?
No, but I do think that if you have universal health care, I think unless we can reestablish the law, I do think states will still be able to have their say in that. So you could add like a exemption with your state, and it could, like, if you were going to have an abortion, your state could fund that. And I think a lot of blue states would be fine. I don't think the funding would have to be that expensive to have something for maternal care. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that Republicans would probably try and draft that into the legislation. If they keep going down this road, though, they might just be fucked. Like if they lose the majority, if we can get it to 60, then it probably doesn't matter. But you're probably right. They'll probably do that.
I feel like we've got such a short-term memory that as soon as things start going well under Democrats, and then we'll have a little bit of a setback, and right away it's like, okay, we got to bring the stupid GOP in again.
Well, that's the thing. Like this is what I was saying this week is just Democrats can't do this like small incremental change, and we can't take our foot off the gas. Like we did that with Biden. There was enough of a mandate with Biden winning that those first 2 years, there should have been a lot done. And looking back, it was pretty mediocre. There was stuff that we liked, but they could have done so much in those 2 years that they didn't get done. Stuff that they probably could have had bipartisan support. We probably could have gotten money out of politics. We probably could have done something with healthcare, but we fought the wrong battles.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good weekend.
You too.
Love your show always, and hopefully I'll be able to contribute a little bit more in the future.
Oh, good. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
See it.
All right. Dolphin.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up?
I just wanted to bring up the thing with the insurance. A lot of people don't know this about me, but when I was born, I was born with a lot of physical problems, and I went to Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children's in Chicago, and I had what's called Crippled Children's. It's an insurance, and it literally made it to where everything was covered for the child. The parents could like my parents, they could stay with me for surgeries in my room. Everything was covered. It was I don't know what the problem is. It was perfect. I don't know why they can't apply that to insurance in general. It made everybody's lives easier. They could focus on getting better on other things like spending time with family, different other things. I don't understand. Well, I do. Americans are greedy, but it's it's disappointing to know that that this can happen, and we're just not allowing it to.
Yeah, I do think it's part of one of the interesting things with trickle down economics is it is an ideology and it is a theory. And so I think there's like strict adherence to that. And so when they see a problem that we obviously have when it comes to providing people with access to care, and they look at health insurance, the solution to that is obviously the government. The solution to that is obviously intervention, but they have bought into trickle down economics and free market capitalism in a way that like they treat it like it is pure. They treat it the same way that they treat like we talked about earlier today, like their faith. Like it must stay intact. There's no exceptions to it. And so when you look at a problem like we have here, you're seeing some of it in the chat, like with Patrick. It's obviously a better solution, but they're like, no, this is what I believe in. So I do think it has a lot to do with that, and we have to break that up. We have to convince people. Whoa. That's weird. We got an echo. We got to convince people that sometimes the government is the solution. What happened, Jen? We still alive?
I'm here.
Dolphin's muted. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
We got to convince people that sometimes the government is. Oh, Dolphin, are you playing the live on your phone too? You might be on a delay.
No, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it just went out. It was weird.
Okay. I think it's good now. Did that answer your question, though? Did you hear my answer?
I heard some of it, and then all of a sudden, everything just went like everything just disappeared.
No worries. Basically, I was just saying, like, we just have to make sure that people understand, and we've got to do a better job messaging that the solution to this particular problem is government, but that doesn't mean that the solution to all problems are government. And we've got to get Republicans to start to see it that way, that the government is not the enemy. And I think that, like, years of indoctrination, they've believed that the government somehow is the enemy and not like a vehicle and a structure that they can use to protect themselves. And so we got to fix that.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened.
No worries.
Thank you for your show. I didn't know where to put the movie suggestions, but I just watched Wonka and I just watched the new Superman, and both of them kind of like go with what's going on. people that are rich, they're going ew, poor, and then like making the pukey sound in their voice in Wonka, and then then in the new Superman movie with the immigration thing, I thought would be two interesting ones. But thank you for having me. I'm sorry, Jen. I'll shut up. Bye.
See you, Dolphin. All right, who's next?
Bun.
Hey.
Oh, that was it. Some guy just walked in the bar. He wasn't paying attention.
What's that?
Bun. You're next. Bun, you know you're in here.
All right. Go
All
ahead.
right, Bun, we'll come back to you. Danielle. Johnny, will you mute?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, my service has been going in and out.
You're good.
So, obviously I got your DM this morning. And if you can, I would love to talk later.
Okay.
Because obviously I'm not going to be able to say everything in 5 minutes. But when you were talking about healthcare, universal healthcare, sorry, I'm a little nervous. I hate when I'm on this thing. But anyway, I feel like that even comes back to the situation with voting. Because if we ever want the opportunity for universal health care, we have to be able to vote out the people that aren't with it. But what I've been discovering on my journey of reading all of these like security reports and reports from like election experts, and I mean, I have so much information in my brain, it feels like it's honestly going to explode. But it goes back like way further than Kamala Harris's election. So, like I said, I can't really get into all the details when I do talk to you, but my point is, if we could just, I feel like we need to focus on like step one, and that would be the voting system. Because if we're trying to like, you know what I mean? Like as far as gerrymandering and all of that, if we don't work on what's happening with our voting system, we're not ever going to move forward. You know what I mean? And then the other part I wanted to say real quick.
Can I ask you a question about that? Because
real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you're good. Go.
Well, I guess I know that we're going to talk and you're going to show me more of the information on the voting fraud stuff, but I think that the pushback is going to be, if this is real, if Republicans are just going to win all, then why aren't Republicans winning? Why aren't they using this system right now to win those races?
What's the thing, RTP? They actually have been. For example, in the Florida special election that happened in April, it shows the exact same anomalies that we saw in 2024. We also saw it mirrored in the Tennessee special election. And they're doing investigations on other elections as well. Those are just the two that we have so far. But it shows that exact same, when you hit that 60%, all of a sudden the Republican starts getting all the votes, and at the same time the Democrat starts losing votes.
Is it?
I guess it happened on TV as well. They
They
saw it happen like with 31,000 votes.
Well, I think the TV stuff is nonsense because like those votes change that happens every single time. I don't think that's their best argument. But is it because there are like Republican election workers in those places? Because I'm looking at like the places where Democrats have.
That's what's important. Okay. No, I'm really glad you asked that. So this is what is so important. This is not some grand scheme like situation where there's all sorts of people involved, right? So this isn't the election workers. It's not necessarily the candidates either. It's the voting system we're using. You know what I mean? Like the tabulation system, the scanner, all of that stuff. It's all owned by 3 companies, and they're all in like cahoots with each other. And the companies it's the stuff that I had sent you, I think it was like the number 6 article, that talks about how it's all like connected, and the people that oversee that are also connected, and they're all closely connected with the Republican Party. Like this goes all the way back, RTP, to the 2000 election. Like the amount of data and evidence, there's just no way that this is just kind of fluke. We've got reports from like the Senate, all sorts of reports out there. It's just wild, the amount of stuff. like I said, to like really get into it. But I just want to really stress it's not like the election workers are doing anything. They're just putting the votes into the machine, and they're assuming they're being counted correctly. But what's happening is the votes are switched. So votes that were for Harris, or not, like I said, it's not just Harris and Trump, but votes for the Republican or the Democrat get switched to the Republican, and all this can happen without any type of security notification going off or anything like that, because of an update to the system. And like I said, I know this all sounds crazy. I have all the reports, I have all the data, and I even went as far as to fact check it, because I'm like, is this shit for real? Like, are they just acting crazy? Is this really a thing, or is this some 25-year conspiracy? Like, what's going on? So I actually went to each individual source, and I'm like, oh, this really does like all add up. There's no holes. The problem is when people try to report it, the same thing happens. Like with us, we're afraid.
Hold on, real quick.
We're afraid to say,
we're going to run out of time.
Fraud or whatever.
Let me give everybody this.
Sorry.
Danielle and I are going to talk this weekend. She's put together spreadsheets after spreadsheets, and I just haven't had time to get to it. And so Danielle and I are going to talk tonight, and I'll cover all this stuff, and we'll get there. So I appreciate that. And if you want to join on that, we'll bring you up. But I'm looking forward to talking all this. For the record, I've never had anybody float, we could call it a conspiracy theory if we want. Right now it's a theory and it's a conspiracy. That's fine. I've never had anybody ever float an idea to me with more data than Danielle's bringing. So I'm really looking forward to jumping into that tonight and this weekend, and then hopefully having a show about it on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, RCP, because I feel like if we can work together with your platform, and then obviously like all this information, can really get other creators to not be afraid, because it's not voters. Voters aren't doing anything wrong. The voters are doing everything right. They're showing up, they're voting, they're not cheating, they're not doing any of that. You know what I mean? Anyway, sorry. All right,
good.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, you guys.
See ya.
Good then. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Sage.
Hey, how's it going, brother? Long-time listener, first-time caller. I was looking to see if I could get a copy of Spaceballs from Gary's Rental. I can't be able to find that, but I'm hoping that you can help me out. So, I've had a lot of my listeners from on my platform basically reach out to me and say, "You got to watch this guy. You got to watch this guy."
Oh no!
And I'm watching you, so you probably haven't been watching me because nobody watches me. But no, I do like a morning show. But they've been telling me that we should get together for something and do a show, because it would probably be a great time. Because I love throwing people in the chat into Alcatraz. That's great. It was fantastic. I might even start that.
This is new. This is a new thing that we're trying out. We just kind of started it today and yesterday. So, yeah.
Just so you guys know that. But no, if you're ever looking for like a debate partner or whatever like that, I agree with, pretty much everything you say. I'm on the kind of the same side. And the trucking guy, I'm in logistics. So I specialize in logistics and supply chains and tariffs and all this other stuff. So the trucking guy yesterday, I was like, hit him, get him.
That guy gave me a headache. Yeah, DM me. Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, I think I might have, but yeah, I'll shoot you a DM, because like I said, even if we cross-platform or something, because I've got about the same size platform as yours, but even if we cross-platform or stuff, or if you're looking to debate with anybody that you need a teammate or whatever, I'm your man, bro. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to go.
I love your energy.
I know
that.
All right, brother. I'm going to jump off and let somebody else jump in, but I just thought I'd reach out.
Yeah, good talking to you, man. We'll talk soon.
All right. V-Team.
First off, Jen, thanks for sharing some of my jokes that I send you. It makes me smile every time you do it.
I try to give you credit when I do. So.
Hey, you don't have to. It makes me smile.
What's up, man?
RTP, I sent you a message in here on Discord through my username is Ronma1/2, so it's different. I do theatrical lighting as my career for the last 20 years.
Oh yeah.
I
read that. I didn't understand any of it. I clicked on it. I'm like, I don't think those are the type of lights I have or something. I didn't understand any of that.
Well, it's basically this transparent plastic sheeting that's a color that you tape in front of the light source, and it'll change the color of the light. and you get a pack of like 12 different colors, and you put up the one until you get the color you actually want on your face.
Oh, I think I need better. It's literally like a light bar. It's like that big. I don't know if you can see my hands, but it's very small what I have for a light. So what I was concerned about is how dark is getting. I'm getting closer, but I probably need to just reach out and show you what I've. Maybe I'll just text you or message you what I've got, and you can tell me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand any of it. I did read it though. I appreciate you sending it. I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know what the fuck that meant.
I try to help.
Yeah.
And then I dropped a video in the Discord a while ago. This one girl did a kind of a deep dive on his Trump healthcare checking accounts or whatever the hell he's calling it.
The HSA accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was linking that as another way for him to make more money.
Interesting.
Where by having the Trump prescription website, which is just an exchange that gets to companies that are owned by him and his sons, that if they're able to offer you drugs at a lower price, and now you have this
Trump RX is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Is that going to be owned by him?
Well, it's an exchange. So when you go to it, it's not like it's actually the government selling drugs. It's putting you in touch with companies that do sell the drugs at a discount.
Yeah, so it looks like
And the companies that you link to are owned by him and his family.
Let's see how this works. Maybe I'll have to mess with that. How does it work? It says coming soon. Oh, okay, so it's not up and running yet. Yeah, send me what you have on that. So you're saying that like this will have a marketplace, but when you link to that, it'll be places that are owned by Trump or his family.
Yeah, or his sons. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to see. You send me what you have. I haven't heard that.
I will.
Okay.
And then could someone send me a link? You covered a story a couple months ago about a data center being voted down, and they went into a lot of the negative effects it had on the community and why they were voting it down.
It's More Perfect Union on YouTube. They did it. It was in It was in Tucson is the one that they did. And then there's another one. They have two different episodes. They did one in Tucson. The one if it's the one where the people were talking about their health like the health experiences they were having, that was one in Memphis. But both of those were More Perfect Union.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're trying to fight one in my halfway down the street from where I live.
Hell yeah. Beat them up.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you. Thanks.
See ya.
All right, Johnny. I unmuted you on my end, but it looks like you're muted on your end. So there you go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I can hear you too. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can hear you. You guys can hear me though?
If you've got the live or the stream in the background, you might want to mute that because you're probably hearing an echo.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Figured I'd ask 3 times. So how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Not bad. You guys going to Lowe's this weekend?
Yeah. Yeah. Bed Bath & Beyond. It's going to be a good weekend.
Get some tile for your backyard.
Yeah.
I was thinking about tiling my fence. It'd be kind of fun. I don't know if it would stay, but you never know.
Are you just trying to make my head explode? What are you doing right now?
No. I'm home. I'm home from the hospital, so I'm gonna do some different projects. I figured I would go to Lowe's, and I know you're renting, so you can't really do the same stuff. So I just figured maybe
that's right.
You could do. Yeah, I'm messing with you. No, but the reason I called, I have a joke.
All right, I'm ready.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this man walks into a bar.
Just walks into one.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He just wasn't paying attention. He just walked into the bar.
Got it.
He said "ouch," and then he walked away.
Awesome joke.
Get to Lowe's, John. Get out of here.
All right, love you guys. Bye.
Good talking to you, man.
Bye.
Bye.
See, look at that short time. It only took 45 seconds.
Oh god.
Peace.
That's a long time. Yep.
Oh wait, you want to see my new haircut? Hold on. I'll show you my new haircut.
Oh, he's looking good. Hairless wonder. Look good.
Mr.
Go on,
Clean.
what's my
Your
backyard?
Mr. Clean era.
Yeah.
It's my backyard. Hey, I got 2 minutes. Check this out. You got my flowers.
If you hooked up,
trimmed them up.
I have to interject this. My spawn, who's 11, has started saying that's what she says for everything recently. So there's been lots of things you keep saying, Johnny, that I keep interjecting into what she said.
You know, I thought it'd be fun. I wasn't going to come up. I was like, I wrote a couple of fun things on to mess with you. But check this out. I made a woodshed last year. I'm really proud of myself. I'm not even a carpenter.
You made that?
Yeah, from scratch.
Don't aim your head at
Oh,
it.
no.
You might catch that thing on fire, Johnny.
That thing's fucking nice. It's a $3,500 woodshed.
It's got
It's
bubbles.
going to take me 40.
Got bubbles living in there?
It's actually 3 tiers. So I built it up pretty nice. This is my garden. Got cherry trees and nectarines and oranges. So let's see the oranges.
I can't believe you don't live under a bridge, Johnny. You got a really nice place.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I can surprise people.
It looks good.
Oh, 10, 9, 8. All right, peace out. Have a great weekend. Love you guys.
See you too.
Bye, Johnny.
Bye.
Good talking to you.
See ya.
All right. Bun.
Hey.
Hello?
There you are.
Okay. The first guy that came up talking about the Trump condoms, it reminded me, and I don't want to be the only one thinking of knowing this information. On Etsy, there's Trump dildos, and I'm pretty sure there's Trump butt plugs, and I know for sure there's a butt plug too. That's all.
If you think for 1 second I'm not about to look that up, you're out of your mind. Is it the shape? Can I show this, Jen?
No, let's not.
Yeah, too late.
I mean, I put the.
Can you send me those links though, just really quick? Thanks.
Get it off. We're gonna get taken down. I swear to God.
Sorry.
All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bun.
Maybe don't yell "get it off."
Jesus.
Who's
Can't
next?
stand you. John.
Okay, well that's going to be hard to follow.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell some facts here. So this is like serious stuff. We were talking about health insurance today, and I wanted to share with people a program that I just was applied for and was approved for that is going to be like huge. I know you have some listeners also in Virginia, but there's a program in Virginia called the HIP program, HIPP. It stands for the Health Insurance Premium Program. And what it is if you have a child, or I guess a dependent on Medicaid, and you keep them on your private insurance and don't essentially keep them as Medicaid number one, but as secondary, they will reimburse your family for your entire family health insurance premiums. So I just got my very first reimbursement, and it was $783. That was for 2 months, basically. Per reimbursement. So this is how this is how it's legit. So your employer, you fill out this form. Your employer, your HR department fills it out. You send it to the program. It has to all be verified. They check everything. You have to send your pay stubs showing that this amount of money is getting taken out of your paycheck, and then they will reimburse you, and saving the government money because you're not using their Medicaid as their first payer. So, but they'll pay for the entire family. So essentially my wife and my health insurance premiums are going to get paid for because we're keeping my son on our commercial insurance.
Oh, looks like Virginia and West Virginia, Florida, Texas, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Utah, Oregon, all have some sort of something similar, it looks like. That's
yeah,
cool.
You got to do it. You really got to do it. It's just, it makes sense though. It saves them money in the long run, but I wish I would have known about it, 9 or 6 years ago. And so hopefully anybody listening can look that up too. So
that's cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
All
All right. Talk to you guys later.
See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ash.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. So about those links, just kidding. I actually have something serious to talk about as well. One of the hardest things that I come up against when speaking to people about universal health care is convincing them that they deserve health care.
Yeah.
And it's the same it's the same thing that kind of ties in to a lot of what we talk about, is that it's a lie we've been sold from up above, right? That
God.
you're tough if you work 80, well, lower than that, I guess.
Okay.
That, you know, you're tough if you've worked 80 hours.
Yeah.
And somebody who wants to work 40 hours and spend time with their family, but they can't make it, is lazy. So it's this idea that it's a lie we've been sold. Even when I canvassed and had conversations with people, they were mad about handouts, and they would say, well, I don't deserve it either, so they don't either. And
so
I think it's
crazy.
done, it is, and I think it's done through the villainization of marginalized people and people that we use as like the big scary issue, right? So when you convince people that people who are bad and undeserving are getting this thing, right? You couldn't also get it, because that would put you there. And it's crazy. It's interesting to me. I talked to a woman who she hates insurance companies, but she doesn't want universal health care. She thinks people are just responsible for their own health care. And she has $140,000 in medical debt. And she just pays like $50 a month because that's what they set her up on. And I was trying to explain to her that that's also why costs go up, because they charge, nobody got paid for that. So they, when they're doing, all their accounting and everything, that's not money. They haven't made that money yet.
Yeah.
And prices get raised because of that. And so I don't know, it's just crazy to me. And I couldn't convince her that she shouldn't have $140,000 in debt because she needed a hysterectomy.
Yeah,
And I don't know what to do with somebody.
I don't either. It's such a crazy thing. Yeah, it's like it's brainwashed people. It is crazy to say I don't deserve to see a doctor because I didn't work for somebody else enough and convince them to pay me enough money to be able to take care of my own health. It is fucking bizarre. Yeah. And other countries don't have that. I've shared this clip before, but there was when Conor McGregor was fighting a guy named Eddie Alvarez. Like, part of Conor McGregor's story is that I think he was doing roofing or plumbing or something like that, and he just fucking hated it, and he loved fighting, and he knew he was good. And when you are unemployed, there's like a certain amount of time in Ireland where you can be on social welfare while you're training for a new job or like getting credentials for a new job. So he went on social welfare while he trained, and then he became one of the greatest fighters ever. And Eddie Alvarez in this press conference is like, you're not a man, you took welfare is for single moms. It was just like, yeah, that's the problem. Every other country doesn't have to like make it a diss if you got help.
Yeah, I wanted to say thanks for the raid over on Twitch. Is it from Raider or Z? I don't know. I don't watch Twitch as closely, but we got a raid over on Twitch.
Thank you.
And I'll go. That was kind of what I wanted to say. That's a hiccup and I think that the issue for me is that I like to reach people on a personal level, and so like, and I think I'm decent at having those conversations, and it's so frustrating when they can't see it. But funny enough, on that, what I was going to say when I came up here is, for all the MAGA men listening, real men don't need insurance. So if I see any of you MAGA men on insurance, I'm coming for you. Okay. All right, bye. How do I get out of here? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Like, the other thing, Patrick said this, like, I'm tired of paying for somebody else's healthcare. That's what healthcare is. If you have health insurance right now, you're paying for somebody else's healthcare. If you're a taxpayer in this country, you're paying for somebody else's healthcare. If you have a job, you're paying for somebody else's healthcare. You're already doing it. Why do you need a 30% of that to go to a company to make money? Why can't you pay for somebody else's healthcare and a CEO doesn't need to make $50 million? It's the dumbest fucking argument. All right, who's next? Insurance is for pussies.
Devo.
That should be our new shirt. Who'd you say it was?
Devo.
Devo, hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
They basically said what I was coming up to. is all of the people that are against like you said, they're against universal health care, don't want to pay for other people's shit, but then don't realize that if you, even though because you have insurance through your company, you're still paying for other people's shit. The irony is lost on me that they don't understand that that's what they're doing now. It's actually costing them more money.
Bad. We're missing most of what you're saying, honestly.
Oh,
I even only got half of shit. I just got
Is it still bad?
That sounds a little better.
Because I can leave and come back if it's bad.
No, it sounds good now. Whatever you just did, might have fixed it.
Okay. Here, no. Basically, in a nutshell, I was just saying that.
Hold on, real quick. We have a return invader. Can somebody in the chat take care of Belioso Bellos? And now you're banned for another 24 hours because we already deported you once today, and you snuck back in. You son of a bitch! Somebody deport Belioso Bellos. Back to you.
I am loving you kicking everybody out. It is cracking me up.
Thank you.
Anyways, universal health care, the people that are against it have no argument. Paying for other people's shit. Medicaid. I work for one of the big bad guys. I work in health insurance. Sorry, it pays the bills. Like them, but paying the bills.
It's bad. The connection's way too bad. You may want to come back. It's so bad. We're picking up like half your words. We'll go to who's next. All right, who's next?
Positive impact.
Hey.
Hey. How's it going?
So good. So good.
I have just been loving this, like using the MAGA logic back on them about the deportation and like treating them like they treat the immigrants has been just fabulous.
Thank you.
It's made me very happy today. So
which will remind you real quick,
much better mood.
Real quick, Lock 0068. Don't come here and complain about our live. Assimilate. We need to deport Lock 0068 as well. Some mod, get Lock out of here. 5 minutes in CCOP for Lock. Go ahead.
Oh my God, it's awesome. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe the Broncos and the 49ers could be in the Super Bowl this year. So
don't put me on the level with the Broncos. That's not nice.
Come on, it's nice to be a Broncos fan this year.
What is your record? I don't even honestly know. What's your record? You guys doing good?
Yeah, we're number one. I think we're 11-2.
How the fuck are the Broncos 11-2? I've only watched the Niners. I got to look at this. Who have you played? There's no way you're 11-2. That's it.
Yes.
When did this happen? How did you guys do that? We're playing the Raiders. Okay, let's go through this. Raiders not making the playoffs. Commanders not making the playoffs. Well, you played a lot of all right. Well, have you played any teams that are going to the playoffs? Yeah. Eagles, maybe. You beat the Eagles. All right. Well, the Niners aren't going to go to the Super Bowl, but maybe you guys will.
All right, that's all I have. I really appreciate the show. I appreciate this new tact of kicking them out and treating them like they treat the immigrant. I'm just disgusted by our country. I just have to say it's like, and also just their hypocrisy and like that they like how quickly they can change their mind on something just when Trump or their whoever they listen to tells them to. They just like they have no spine. They have nothing that they believe in other than whatever podcaster they listen to that shapes their opinion. I'm just so like,
when you build the entire like existence and personality of a movement behind an internet troll, you all just become internet trolls. And that's who they've all become. Every member of Congress, they literally just wait around to troll people on the internet. They're all just trolls because that's what Trump did. And they learned from that, and that's the identity now.
Yeah, it's just, it's embarrassing. I mean, it's just, I'm so tired of it. And what scares me is I think Trump is a certain phenomenon and everyone, a lot of the people are following him. And then when he dies and JD Vance and the people that are really like evil take over, those people, they're not relying on those people to still be following them. They'll already have dismantled enough that they can just take over. And that's what scares the shit out of me. It's hopefully we still have free and fair elections. I mean, I don't think they're going to cancel elections, but I think they're trying to rig it. But hopefully we can stop them before it gets to that. But yeah, I'm not sure about impeaching Trump because I think Vance is way more evil and has way more. He's way smarter.
It's a waste of time to even go through impeachment. Nobody's going to give a fuck anyways. We just need to focus on the elections. I think that like anybody wasting time trying to impeach Trump, it's irrelevant. We know what happens if you impeach him. It won't make a difference. So just ignore it.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, that's it. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. You
All
too.
right.
Got to do a little cleanup here. TS Mad Dog 4639 says, if you hate America, lady, then go live in another country. You believe RTP and are a hypocrite. You're in my country, bitch, and you just got deported for complaining and not assimilating. Suck a ball, just one ball. You're gone for 24 hours. Enjoy what it's like being an immigrant. Thank you. The name was...
I know. I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Sorry.
Okay. Got it. Go ahead.
Flaming.
Hey. Flaming Femme. Thank you. I like that.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, well, you can call me Katie, I guess.
It's not as fun.
It's not as fun. It's true. This is first time, long time. Right. And I just appreciate you guys, but I really, really love Dictator J. Okay. Like I am jumping on the train of loving. Today was probably my favorite show ever. I've been listening for a few years. And
he's kind of stepping on my turf a little bit, which is unusual.
I'm really sorry. I mean, I'm really, really, truly enjoying this. The power trip is like chef's kiss.
Thank you.
But I for a long time, for a while now, I've been meaning to join, and I just haven't had time. I'm usually working, and today's a wicked slow day. I'm from Boston, by the way, so.
We all know.
Everybody here knows. Could you tell?
Everybody knows you're from Boston.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. But I just want to, and you're going to shut up and take your flowers, all right?
Okay.
But the last year for the election, I can't possibly thank you enough for your coverage that night and giving me like the slightest glimmer of hope for as long as humanly possible. And I know that's like so fucking cheesy and whatever, but like for real, I knew before you called it, and I think everybody did, but I needed that like little tiny bit of hope for that much longer before we finally like had to accept what we're living through now, right?
Yeah.
And I really, really, really appreciated you covering it the way you did and just being there and me feeling a little less alone just listening. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for saying that. I hated that night. That sucked.
I hated it too. I think everybody hated it, but like you helped to make it a little less sucky, you know.
Thank you.
And I appreciate it. And I listen to you every day. I appreciate your perspective, and I also come from a high demand religion.
What
you and I have that in common.
Which one?
So I grew up in the Boston Church of Christ.
I don't know anything about the Boston. I mean, I know the Church of Christ.
Yeah, no. The Church of Christ generally, they're good people. The Boston Church of Christ was a crazy like offshoot movement that was covered by 2020 in the late 80s, and I was born in the late 70s, so when I was a little kid, I just grew up in this church, and they were beyond crazy, and they're definitely a cult.
When you search it says it's all just like it's an abusive church. That's what everything says.
Yeah,
Okay.
Super fun.
I'm gonna look this up. I've got something to do today.
Well, if you ever want to chat, please feel free to DM me because I'm happy to talk about it.
Sounds good. Can't wait.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know my time's probably running out, but I do love you guys, and Jen, you're amazing. And
thanks. Sorry, I've been watching the YouTube chat. I just looked. So the Jackie who comes in and says like stupid shit all the time, Okay, I sent you her picture. She looks like her kids went no contact on her. She's one of the people who probably yells at kids to get off her lawn.
You sent me the picture? Where'd you send me the picture?
Oh, wait, wrong. Oh, sorry, I put it in the wrong. I sent it to Revoltage. Here, wrong tab. Here, I just sent it to you. She looks at she yells at people to get off her lawn. Her kids went no contact.
Where's that bottom row of teeth?
And she has to speak to the manager on a regular basis.
I'm not going to show
I mean,
it, but that's tough. Good for you, Jack. Good for you. Hey, Jen, also real quick, did any deportation flights open up?
Dang, deportation flights. I mean, Jackie just joined one.
See if we can fit Stick back on one. Stick needs to go again. Stop sneaking back in, Stick.
Drew showed up too. I mean, he's here, but he hasn't done anything too egregious yet. But
he's one of the good ones.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally he has his moments, but yeah. So.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Flamey, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I lied.
No worries at all. Anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you.
Go Sox. Right. Go Pats.
Mama, you spoke already, right?
No, I actually just got here after being gone for 2 hours.
Okay. You're next, and then Devo.
Cool. Yeah, so I've been gone for the last 2 hours, sweating my ass off in Phoenix outside, which is weird to say in December.
60 degrees. What are you talking about?
But when you're sitting in the sun and you're basically see-through like I am.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, 75 today. Warm day today.
Yeah, and apparently I missed extra spicy J with spicy Jen on the side. Like, that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to go back and
There's some spice. There was a little spice.
Yeah. So I don't really have much of any fucking thing to say today because I've kind of missed a lot of the lives this week. But yeah, hopefully you get your meds again.
Yeah, I hope so. I got to go back to Walgreens today. Hopefully. I need it.
Yeah. Yeah, Safeway's not any better.
I can't.
So
they won't
been
take
over
my
here.
doctor anymore. I can't go to Safeway.
You said that. That's wild.
Yeah. No
I'm
no
nervous
Kroger
'cause-
brands will take my doctor.
Safeway's not Kroger. That's Fry's.
Oh, I thought Safeway was Kroger too. Okay, well, I don't know what Safeway is. That Safeway won't take it.
No.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyways, just over here raw dogging life. I funnily enough, anyways, I found out that like a handful of people that I was pretty confident were ADHD finally went and got tested, and sure as shit, I feel like I can just like pick people out of a lineup at this point.
Yeah, it's not hard. Once you have it and you know it, it's not hard. Yeah.
Yeah. You start looking at the symptoms and you do the deep dive of everything, and you're like, oh hey, yeah, that tracks. Cool.
I got distracted during my ADHD test. The doctor actually laughed at me because they track your eyes, and it was I don't remember like it would show like a shape or something. I don't remember what it was. The screen just kept changing, and so they're like watching it. Then at some point, I just like looked away and got distracted at something on the wall. I was like, "Fuck!" So there's like a segment of the ADHD test that I didn't even do because it's like timed, and I missed it because I got distracted. She's like, "You're good."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Same. They finally got to a point because I did like the whole 8-hour battery testing thing, and they finally got to a point where they're like, "We have more than enough data. You're good.
You're good. You're good. Give this lady some meds."
I was like, "Cool. Can I get some help now?" So, but yeah. Anyways, that's all I got. I'm gonna go sit in front of a fan because it's hot here today.
Good. Enjoy it.
So,
All
right.
All right.
Thanks. Talk to you guys later.
See ya. Jen, Mark PC9X wants us to defund sanctuary cities. Great news, Mark. This is not a sanctuary live, and you are here illegally and complaining. You are to be deported, and no self-deport. You're going to CCOP for 5 minutes. See you later, Mark. Who's next?
Devo.
Hey, Devo.
Is my sound still bad?
No, it's better now.
That was so weird. I apologize. Anyways, forgot what I was going to say, but when I came up, but I appreciate your talking about health insurance.
Just immediately sucks again. I don't know what it is. Just immediately we're getting half your words. I got half that sound. I only got part of the end. This is crazy. It's got to be your microphone.
Is it still bad? Still bad?
It's fine now, but
All right. Anyways, I'm just going to say, bells, that's all I'm going to do. For my sound sucks ass again. I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Thanks, have a good weekend. I got most of that, I think.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. So, fun fact, I'm in Northern California. I don't say, but we haven't. There's been like no sun here. It's been like cloudy and foggy. I love it.
Oh, that's why you've been so happy. There's no more of that.
Yeah, that's probably exactly why. Because
You're the only person I know who gets happier with less vitamin D.
I love rain and fog. Yeah, it's my favorite.
And murder.
Murder. Yeah. Anyway.
Hi.
Revoltage.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
I also like it when it rains, and I like the fog. But I wanted to ask a question. I don't know if I'm able to ask questions here or not.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just wanted to know more about why, after like the ACA and Obamacare, basically I get in arguments with my dad, and one of the things he always leans on is like, I used to sell health insurance, and after that came out, everybody's premiums went up, but I've heard you say on other lives that Republicans are largely to blame for that because they went in and I guess stripped out something to do with maybe the caps on it.
We're going to go up. They were always going to go up. Our economy forces things to go up. And I don't remember the exact percentage, but I think it was going up about 8% a year when we put in the Affordable Care Act. And if you look at the years of the Affordable Care Act from the time that it was put in, which was 2012, I think, until 2018, when after they gutted the Affordable Care Act, you can see that prices were rising every year. But if you can look at the graph and you'll see that it was rising more slowly. And then when they gutted it, prices skyrocketed again. It was rising more slowly. And then when they gutted it, prices skyrocketed again. So it is true that prices went up after the Affordable Care Act, but they didn't go up as quickly as they were rising before or after. It's an absolute lie. Like, people say this. Some people, and they also rely on stories. Like, so for some people, they saw drastic price increases with the Affordable Care Act, generally wealthier people. But that's because you brought in 30 million Americans who didn't have insurance, and everybody was kind of subsidizing them. But on average, the price was going up, I think, at about 6% a year. So it did raise prices. That's true. But I think the main thing we have to do is distance ourselves from the Affordable Care Act. We can't keep pretending like the Affordable Care Act was this great idea. It was a Band-Aid. And it was kind of keeping an open wound from bleeding out all the way. It wasn't solving. It never was going to solve anything. We have to abandon the model, private health insurance. So I would just say I wouldn't spend much time defending the Affordable Care Act. I'd say, yeah, it seems like no matter what we do, prices go up. So maybe we should make it more affordable.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that was really the only question I had. Appreciate it.
Just Google that. Go look at, if you search health insurance premiums by year, you can get like a 30 or 40 year chart, and you can just show it to your dad and say, Dad, which time was it rising the most? Which time was it rising the least? And you can see during the times of the Affordable Care Act, it did kind of level off a little bit. So it was slightly better.
Yeah, and I remember that, the guy he uses as an example, it went from like, let's say 250 to 500, but this guy also is a multimillionaire, and we wrote all his properties insurance. So
yeah.
Like, if it has anything to do with income, then I could understand that.
Yeah, it definitely had to do with it. Wealthier people generally saw their prices go up.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Appreciate that.
Okay. Thanks for coming on.
All righty. Take it easy. Bye.
Have a good weekend.
I love you. Stop asking.
There we go.
Dave, thoughts.
Goddamn right.
Yes, you do. Quick question: where can I find your PO box?
In the link tree in the file.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I haven't actually looked for it. It just occurred to me now that I have a present for you that I got like back in August that I keep forgetting to look for your address.
I am notorious. There's a package that I've been meaning to send for about 3 months that I forgot about. So I'm with you there. I do it all the time.
Excellent. Glad we're on the same page.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, you suck.
Thank you.
Jen, you are awful. And I don't have any compliments for you today.
Appreciate it.
I that's all. Elliot, would you like to Jen is awesome? He's shaking his head. He's like, no.
That's a death wish. You don't want to do that.
He knows better. All right. Love you guys. Thank you.
See ya.
And we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye. Anything from you, Jen?
All right.
Do you want to give me any compliments before we go?
Did we get all the messages?
Sorry, you probably didn't hear what I said. I said, did you want to give me any compliments before we go?
None that are coming right to the top of my head now.
All right, Danielle said every dollar we spend on SNAP benefits generates about $1.50 to $1.80 in economic activity and is only 1.6% of our budget. Sully said, love you all. There you go, Sully. Also, I'll give you a go pats for that, Sully. Joe said, wouldn't single payer make car insurance cheaper? Yeah, it could. You could do that for sure. Amy said, like with education, you take the red states numbers out. We're not dead last. You die 10 years younger in red states. I got that one about talk. Edward said it's the dollar train for Monday through Friday. Thank you, Edward. Tyler also thanks for the donation. Did I miss any over here? Jen, did I miss any of yours, by the way?
I'm checking. Did you? I think you got all those.
Double check here.
I'll give you a compliment that authoritarian. I can appreciate that. But you are kind of dropping the ball. There's a Mark P that you haven't.
No, I said to get rid of Mark P. That was the last one I said. Yeah. Mark P's got to be deported. Oh, is he? Has Mark P? He didn't self-deport when I said that?
No.
Oh, these bitches. They come in here illegally. We give them a deportation order, and then they just stay here and leech off of us. They just need somebody to talk to. Sorry, Mark. You got to go, man. You can't come in here. And when we tell you to leave, God damn it, you leave. All right, there we go.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got it. I helped. So.
All right.
I'm not here doing my Kristi Noem-ness. So.
All right. Reminder, we didn't bring up Fax. Fax does have we'll drop it in the Discord.
Something came up. He wasn't going to be able to join anyway.
No worries. We'll drop the link in the Discord. Fax has an event tonight. I think it's at 7 Eastern.
He's canceling tonight. So.
Oh, he's canceling tonight. All right. Well, fuck all of you guys. I'm going to hang out with Liv tonight. We're going to do that toy drive tonight. So if you see me on TikTok, come hang out. And if you can give to the toy drive, Liv has a link in his bio. And we also dropped it in the Discord. So help make a kid's Christmas. We'll be hanging out there. I will be elevated to the max. And so I'll be over there. And if I don't see you there, I'll see you guys next Monday and every weekday morning, 8:30 a.m. to noon Pacific Standard Time, right here, wherever you're watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your weekend. Touch some grass if you have any. Get away from politics for a little bit, and we'll be back with our authoritarian selves bright and early Monday morning. Stay cute and cool, and have a great summer.